Today, the 17th BCS-ranked Oklahoma Sooners host the dangerous Texas Tech Red Raiders in a Big 12 conference battle. Oklahoma has the #1 defensive unit in the conference. Texas Tech has the #1 offensive unit in the Big 12. The Sooners have weapons of their own in running back Alan Patrick. Texas Tech QB Graham Harrell has thrown over 1,000 yards in the last 2 weekends. Both teams have big game experience. Both teams have a lot at stake in this Big 12 showdown. One of the most important games of the Big 12 season. Texas Tech takes on the Oklahoma Sooners. The Big 12 Battle of the Day. Next.
Legends are with us tonight in Big 12 country. And as we all know, a very objective observer here in Norman. Good time to be in the heart of the Big 12 from Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium in Norman. Big 12 football presented by Kia Serra. As tonight, the Red Raiders of Texas Tech take on the 17th ranked Oklahoma Sooners. Hi, everybody. I'm Joel Myers alongside Dave Lattman. Welcome once again to Norman, Oklahoma. It is tough, Dave, to find a hotter team of the second half of the season as the Oklahoma Sooners. They come in riding a 4-game winning streak, but believe it or not, they suffer another huge blow to their backfield.
Oh, they really do. I mean, they face so much adversity this season. It might be Bob Stoops' best coaching year. Right before the season starts, he loses his projected center, quarterback. They touch the ball every play. Mid-season, loses Adrian Peterson, his Heisman Trophy candidate. And tonight, Alan Patrick, the #2 running back, he will not be able to play either with an ankle injury. You're looking at 1,437 yards rushing and 12 touchdowns on the ground that'll be unavailable tonight. But it's an opportunity for others to step up and expand their role. Jacob Gutierrez, the last time he was called upon against Baylor last season, 173 yards on the ground. Chris Brown, a true freshman, has got some serious speed. I think these guys will step up. It's Oklahoma. They have a bunch of good running backs.
Well, a huge disappointment just a few weeks ago as Texas Tech lost decisively at Colorado 30-6. They've rebounded effectively, and they're led by the leading passer in the country, Graham Harrell.
And Graham Harrell's a typical Texas Tech quarterback. They ask for proper reads, they ask for good, quick decisions, and they ask for accuracy throwing the football. And Graham Harrell is doing all of that. And it's also bringing out the best in all the others. He's growing and developing because he's elevating their level of play, distributing the football well to all quadrants of the field. Everybody is making plays for Texas Tech. That's when they are at their best, and Graham Harrell is growing and developing every single day, can make all the throws.
Well, it's a real contrast in styles, as you mentioned.
Right.
Oklahoma, they'd like to be able to throw the football a little bit better than we saw last week when they only had 36 yards through the air. Despite that, they won by a point. The other side, Texas Tech, looks for balance coming in. Can they get any kind of ground game? Woods coming off his best game as a tailback for the Red Raiders. Will it continue? We'll find out. And when we come back, it'll be Michael Eaves, Billy Ray Smith, DeMarco Farr, our College Football Saturday studio show. You're watching Big 12 football. That's all presented by Kia Serra on FSN.
Guys talked about Alan Patrick out for this game. Talked to him before the game. He's wearing a boot on his right ankle. He told me he could probably go tonight, but he wanted to play it safe. He'll be back next week against Baylor. Meanwhile, he'll turn into Coach Patrick, just like Adrian Peterson has turned into Coach Peterson the last few weeks, coaching him on the field, guys.
Yeah, Noxie, Bob Stoops said that the ankle just wasn't right. I mean, he went through the walkthrough yesterday and was trying, but just wasn't quite right, and figured the best thing to do is shut it down, and they fully expect him to play next week against Baylor. Just precautionary tonight. I think it's smart not to dress him out so you're not tempted to throw him out there.
Nearsighted Shannon Woods. Over to the far side, it's going to be Eric Morris. Now we are ready to go as Hartley gets into it. A classic. It could be that good. And it's going to be Morris, a yard 2 into his end zone. Barely gets back to the 20-yard line. So good kick coverage off the start of the game from Garrett Hartley. And our Kia Serra starting 11 offensively for the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. At the top of the telecast, we told you about Graham Harrell leads the nation in passing yardage. Well, incredible numbers over the last 2 with 8 scores. He's also second in touchdown passes this year. He's got 32, an amazing percentage, as he's hitting almost 70% of his passes, but 32. What a touchdown to interception ratio with only 9 as well.
Exactly, and a lot of those interceptions came early. The last few weeks, his touchdown to interception ratio is off the charts.
So right away, You won't see a tight end in this lineup. It'll be Shannon Woods trying to make a miss and wrapped up by the linebacker Rufus Alexander, the weak side backer who leads the Sooners in stops. The left side of the offensive line, and Arceus Harris starting the lineup for Texas Tech. The senior from Houston, Glenn January, some experience on that side. Gabe Hall, the converted tight end, the senior from Lubbock on the opposite side. Woods in the backfield. Amendola, Hicks, Johnson, and Fulani, the wide receiver. Hicks a game-time decision, and it's not going to be Jared Hicks today, in fact. It'll be Todd Walker instead at the last minute, the sophomore from Pflugerville.
Right guard Manny Ramirez is a big-time player as well. You look at the split he takes from the center. You have to have a lot of confidence to take the monster split that Ramirez is.
Ball start, 65 offense. 5 yards, second down.
Left guard.
There we go. Little flinch right there. You can't, once you're in, even in a 2-point stance, you can't rock, you can't fake the start of a play. You have to be frozen. 2-point, 3-point stance, 4-point stance, doesn't matter. You can't be rocking backwards.
And we're talking, David, about the most penalized team in the Big 12. Texas Tech does pick them up. Been a real clean play over the last few weeks for the Oklahoma Sooners, in the last 4 in particular, with only 18 mark-offs. So second down, 15. Little dump off. Van Woods wasn't going to get the kick-out block he was looking for anyway from Robert Johnson, the wide receiver, off his fingertips. It'll be 3rd and long. Now defensively, for one of the best defensive units, 15th in the nation in scoring defense, Burdine, IU. They flank Coleman and Bennett. Linebackers, you got to love this threesome. Lofton, Latimer, and Rufus Alexander very active with Walker and Lendy Holmes on the outside. And Darian Williams and punt returner Reggie Smith as the safety. To welcome those of you joining us in our Rocky Mountain region. Joel Myers along with Dave Latt and Jim Knox. It's 3rd and long, first series of the game for the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. Spread the defense with 5 wideouts, ton of time, and the grab is made for a first down. Grant Walker, the junior from Pflugerville, and they're going to say it's a trap.
Yeah.
The transfer from Purdue went down. I thought he almost got it. So it's going to be 3 and out.
3 and out is exactly what Texas Tech didn't want to have. Only 3-man rush, 8 in coverage. The ball hits the ground, and almost a good effort on the short hop. But once it hits the ground, of course, it's incomplete. And Oklahoma should enjoy some decent field position here. They may have less than a football field to navigate.
Alex Reyes in to punt it away. Back deep for the Sooners. It's Reggie Smith. Calling for the fair catch and gets it despite some, a little activity interference. Near his own 48, they'll put it down at the Oklahoma 49. So a very short field now for the red-hot Oklahoma Sooners. It's rare when you can go 3 for 9 for only 36 yards, Dave, and still win a game on the road in Big 12 play. And that's what happened for Paul Thompson last week.
Because he had his offense rush for 45 times for well over 200 yards. They just decided to pound it at Texas A&M. They did a good job. They imposed their will on Texas A&M, but they want to be more balanced tonight. There's no question about that.
So first down from their own 49. Jacob Gutierrez, the little guy. He can pound it, too. He's got 6 all the way down to the 45. You're talking about balance. Well, they'd like to run it all night long. Long time-controlled possessions, keeping the ball away from the Red Raiders and their high-powered offense. Offensive line, Messner, Robinson, Cooper, Walker, and Trent Williams up front, the true freshman from Longview, Texas. Gutierrez getting the call, their 3rd starting tailback this season. Eldridge, the tight end, set up to the fullback position. Johnson and Kelly in the backfield. And Joe John Finley, an efficient tight end who can get downfield. He's in motion right now on 2nd and 4. Gutierrez has a lane. He's got a first down. It's going to be a real test for Texas Tech to try to stop them on especially first down, Dave, so they don't get 6-7 to crack.
Well, and they're on schedule, and they're running the ball well. And Gutierrez is just like Quentin Griffin. 5'6", 187 pounds, and hides behind that big line. Tough for these defensive linemen to find.
And you saw the front 4 with Tillman and Session, the linebackers, Stratton, the middle linebacker, Huffman and Parker on the outside. First season of starting for Chris Parker. And McBath and Joe Garcia, the strong safety, is their leading tackler. So first down for the Sooners. They lost last year at Texas Tech. Thompson's first throw of the game, a high one, but a good one. And a first down for Malcolm Kelly. Boy, did he stretch out all 6'4" of that frame.
Well, that's what you're talking about on the balance. You run the ball effectively, 2 snaps to move the chains, and you come right back and you put it in the running back's belly, take it out of there, little play action pass, and you have plenty of separation to get the ball down the field to the big receiver. Look at the cushion that he has. Malcolm Kelly hooks up in front of the safeties and catches football, secures it, gets extra yards after catch. Already on the first possession, Oklahoma in the red zone, the scoring zone.
They've got it down to the 19 of the Red Raiders. Gutierrez in the eye behind Eldridge. Man, little rollout action. Available again, it's Kelly. Good play out in the open field by Antonio Huffman. Otherwise, it's a first down and maybe a touchdown as he's got him short of the 10.
The prior 36 possessions in the red zone, Oklahoma scored 22 touchdowns and 12 field goals. 34 out of 36 opportunities they put points on the board. Malcolm Kelly the target. Right now, Kevin Wilson, the offensive coordinator, very balanced. Ran the ball first 2 plays, came right back and ran it and threw it the second 2 plays. One of them play action, the other one getting the quarterback out of pocket. So changing the launch point, really doing a good job of mixing up his play calling.
Now the short field started at the 49. Now 2nd and 3. Gutierrez. They converge on him after a gain of only a yard down to the 11. So a huge third coming up for the Red Raiders defense.
Well, it's Oklahoma. Offensively, they want to get some things done. And what they want to do is they want to limit yards after catch on defense, obviously. Texas Tech, let them catch the football fine, but nothing big after the catch. Be balanced. Like we said, they only threw it for 39 yards last week, rushed for 224. And this very thing, in the red zone, finish it with 7. Don't settle for 3. Texas Tech can score quickly from anywhere. You don't want to leave points on the field in the red zone. Want to finalize.
The larger back is in now, Chris Brown. And we are going to get a timeout on the field taken by Oklahoma. So they went with the bigger guy, this junior from Madison High School. Chris Brown, the true freshman. When we come back, in fact, was in there. Timeout Sooners. Not as windy as it was here in Norman yesterday, so a break for the kickers. And a gutsy Bob Stoops. Boy, he showed the belief in his team last week with 1:29 to play.
Joe, I think this is his best coaching job. It may sound silly. They won the national championship in the year 2000. But they have faced more adversity, I think, than any team in the country. And they're on a nice run, and he's doing a heck of a job, and his staff and players are responding.
Spread the defense out of the gun with Chris Brown in the backfield on a circle pattern, and it falls incomplete. He was tagged, but was he tagged early by Brock Stratton, the middle linebacker?
Boy, they're looking for the flag. The Oklahoma coaching staff and sideline are signaling they'd like to see the flag, but they're not going to get one. And Paul Thompson leaves the football field shaking his head. Over the middle of the field, the umpire was the contact early. Brock Stratton, he's got a couple of interceptions. Then he go over his back before the arrival of the football. Boy, it's very close. The ball is thrown to the back number where it should have been by Paul Thompson. Stratton, boy, it was a bang-bang play, and he got the call.
83-90.
Not Eric Stratton, rush chairman, but Brock Stratton making the play. As it's a 27-yard field goal coming up. In fact, they'll put it to the 18. 28 is the try for Hartley on its way. And the Sooners with an early 3-point lead. Hartley now 16 of 17 in the year. His only miss was blocked. That's how good it's been for their place kicker, the junior from Southlake, Texas. So the Sooners, in short field, don't get into the end zone, but at least get points as they're on top by 3. 51 left of the opening 15 minutes of play. Start them sooner than later around here. Welcome back to Norman, Oklahoma. Well, last year in Lubbock, Texas, Sooner running back Adrian Peterson into the end zone. It gave the Sooners a 4-point lead. Thought it was enough. 93 seconds left of the game, but then Cody Hodges. Big play downfield. Danny Amendola with the catch. He's on the field tonight with us. And now with just 2 seconds left in the game in Lubbock last year. How good was Torian Henderson for this squad? The winner, 23-21. That's what Shannon Woods is trying to replace now. Take over for Torian Henderson. He did everything like Wes Welker.
He was as complete a football player as they have ever had at Texas Tech. Run it, catch it, and most importantly, block on blitz pickup.
Once again, Morris waiting with Woods. It's going to be Morris from the 2 up the right side, past the 15. Great coverage downfield to slow him down and put him down again near the 20-yard line. And the first one down there for the Oklahoma Sooners. An outstanding play early for the Sooners. Hayes McEachern, Lewis Baker rather. Backup linebacker Well, 7 plays resulted in a 28-yard field goal, and our Mitsubishi keys now for Texas Tech in their second series.
Well, they want to have some first down success. They don't want to be in second and long, third and long either. Even though they're a spread offense like this, that was their problem in the first drive. And also, they want to score first. I mean, they're 5-1 when they score first. Oklahoma's 5-0.
Harrell's got a ton of time. And it's complete on a little shallow cross. It's complete to Joel Fulani. Fulani coming off his best day as a Red Raider yardage-wise, and also had 3 touchdowns. Not bad.
And what they're not going to be able to score first. Oklahoma scored a field goal, but they want to score a touchdown. And here's the physical contact that's going on in this football game now. And that's the final key. Be physical for Texas Tech. You want to put your big boy pads on because there's a lot of big boy hitting going on down there. And Texas Tech wants to match the intensity and the physicality of Oklahoma tonight.
Need to get to the 29 for a first down. His pocket holds up for Harrell again, and it's batted away. Linebacker Rufus Alexander got a piece of it. He's their leading stopper when it comes to tackles. A senior from Baton Rouge, first team All-Big 12er last year, picking up right where he left off.
But this is the misnomer about Texas Tech. They don't want to be 3rd and 9 either. They want to be right where they are now, 3rd and 3 or less, because nobody wants to be 3rd and long. Your playbook is a lot smaller, and they do a lot of things: run the draws, the shovel passes, that type of thing, to make sure they're 3rd and medium or 3rd and short.
They've only got 35% of their 3rd down so far this year. Moving the pocket, Harrell in trouble and intercepted, picked off, ill-advised throw. The linebacker got to it, Calvin Thibodeau, and in fact the defensive end was dropping.
Yep, that was a zone blitz, defensive end drop. I think Harrell was trying to throw it away, but the pressure did not allow him to do it. He was pressed. Watch Thibodeau right here. He's going to drop out into coverage. Watch him drop back. Here comes the pressure. Harrell wants to throw it away, but the pressure's in his face. He's off his back foot. He can't get it that far. And Thibodeau's right there underneath him. Harrell throwing off his back foot, falling away from the line of scrimmage, and has no shot of putting anything on that football.
Well, part of the interception should go to the other end. C.J. Ayu, he was in the face of the quarterback. Now Gutierrez turning the corner, and he loses the football. At the bottom of the pile, it looked like one of the wide receivers, in fact the tight end Joe John Finley, had a crack at it for Oklahoma, but did he get to the football?
I think he did, and there's a tug of war going on now. A lot of strong hands, wrists, forearms. Texas Tech said they got it back. A lot of times the first guy that recovers it doesn't end up at the football.
Tech, they get it.
A lot of pulling and tugging going on, and Tech comes out with it. And of course, it's a big down lineman comes out with the football. That's Seth Nitchman, and Bob Stoops is imploring his troops. Okay, turnovers. You got to avoid these. And Gutierrez has to put the football away. Does he have it tucked? Boom, ball, helmet right on the football. Tremendous shot delivered right there by Huffman. Just a picture-perfect tackle. Put his helmet right on the ball and put it airborne, and Texas Tech comes up with a big recovery. Back-to-back turnovers.
Dave, it may be early, but that could have been. You fall behind by 10 points early at Oklahoma, where Bob Stoops is almost unbeatable at 46-2 at home. Now Woods barely gets out of the backfield. And it was Thibodeau again who slowed him down out on the edge. Corey Bennett cleaned up, but Thibodeau was the first one there.
Very, very active. About Ayu. Ayu does not have a quarterback sack this year, but, he's had a lot of pressures. That was a big one. Look at the advantage taken off of turnovers. Oklahoma, on their 20 takeaways, have scored 71 points. They've got 21 giveaways in the season. The opposition has only taken advantage for 20 points. That's a plus 51-point differential. That's sudden change, handling it well.
Now on 2nd and 10, Harrell. He's got Fulani again. And Fulani, yards after catch, you talked about it. He's got a first down across the 45. That was one of the keys to the game.
Well, what he is, Joel, is 6'3", 216 pounds. You're not going to knock him off his feet by just body blocking him. You have to put a hit on him and wrap him up. And watch him just, you're not going to block him to the ground. You got to put your helmet through his body, wrap your arms up, and take him to the turf. That is a big, big wideout with tremendous speed. He's got size-speed ratio that's problematic for defensive backs.
Leads the Red Raiders in catches coming in.
His 26.5 yards per catch last week was the best that's ever occurred under Mike Leach's regime here at Texas Tech. When you average 26.5 per catch and 8 catches. That's big time.
A blitz, throw to the side of the blitz, and a low throw. Is it taken in? Todd Walker went down, and he does get credit for the catch. Gain of about 5, almost 6 yards for the guy who's sitting in today for Jared Hicks.
Yeah, Hicks has some little rib problem. He got blasted in the Texas game. Hasn't been right. He didn't even make this trip. Todd Walker has to expand his role. Let's see if Todd Walker secures that ball. That ball hit the ground. That's not a completion. But if the ball is snapped, it's too late, and Tech will get away with one. Never secured the football.
They do get it. It'll be 2nd and 4. Underneath, complete for the first down to Robert Johnson, the senior from Americus, Georgia. So it got away from everybody that time, didn't it? No challenge flag. It's down to the 40 and another first down on the drive that started back to Tech 23. The opportunity now for points off a turnover.
And again, Texas Tech, a lot of this short controlled passing game is like running the football. They want to be successful against this Oklahoma defense on 1st and 2nd down. They don't want to face 3rd and long and extra long like any offense doesn't.
Down by 3, they've got it at the Oklahoma 40. And we are 9 minutes in for the first 15. Underneath, little slant. Johnson again. That's like a running play for them.
Sure is.
Gain of 4.
Exactly what I'm talking about. Move the first down marker and make sure you get some positive yards on 1st down. And as you take a look at how the ball is being distributed by Harrell, who's growing and maturing every week as a quarterback. The top 4 leaders in the Big 12 in catches per game all reside at Texas Tech. No big surprise. 3 of them over 6 catches a game. That's Mike Leach at his best, distributing the football all over the field.
From the Oklahoma 36. 2nd and 6. Looks one way, goes the other way. Grab is made, but could play in the open field, taking care of the running back that time. As they put down David Schaefer.
That's a
Reggie Smith, open field tackle.
Very fine hit. You need to tackle in space. And that's the key. We saw it earlier with Kalani. No yards after catch. Make sure you take him to the turf. That is the biggest factor in defending Texas Tech. They're going to get their yards throwing it and catching it. You don't want them to get additional yards running after the reception.
On 3rd and less than a yard, almost like the silent count. And Harrell should have enough for the first down right across the 30. It is a first down.
Just had inches to go. And this is why Oklahoma wanted to score a touchdown when they're in the red zone. You don't want to trade 3 points instead of 7 when you get in that red zone. You don't want to leave 4 points too many times inside that 20-yard scoring area, because Texas Tech is so prolific offensively, they can score from anywhere.
This Oklahoma defense has definitely picked it up, though, ever since they gave up 33 in the loss at Oregon. And among the top 20 in the nation across the board. Now on first down. Time over the middle and a touchdown. Robert Johnson. Well led by Graham Harrell. And the Red Raiders with the early lead.
Well, receiver and quarterback with Texas Tech need to read coverage and be on the exact same page. Bob Stoops feels like there was a blown assignment in that secondary. Tremendous protection up front by Texas Tech. Oklahoma ran a line stunt. Watch them loop and watch the stunt. And look at this passing lane. As a result of everything being picked up, Graham Harrell, unimpeded vision down the football field. He knew as soon as he threw it, I got 6. I mean, his vision was totally unimpeded.
Jurlica for the point after. He fades it through. Man, it's a 7-3 lead. But you talk about the protection. Boy, did he have clear vision that time.
Oh, man, the Red Sea parted for him beautifully.
That was an 8-play, 77-yard drive. So the Red Raiders responding. They get points off a turnover on a long one. Lead by 4. And welcome back once again for the start of the second quarter. Joel Myers along with Dave Lapham and Jim Knox. Texas Tech. Touchdown pass up 30 yards to Robert Johnson from Graham Harrell. They've got the 7-3 lead. First point, so Oklahoma Sooners, Garrett Hartley with a 28-yard field goal. And now on first down after the catch by Malcolm Alexander, or Malcolm Kelly, rather. Joe John Finley in motion from the 32. Nice play fake by Paul Thompson. Guns it wide open. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Manuel Johnson. Blown assignment in the secondary.
You got that right. I don't think I've seen a guy that open from inside 30 yards in a long time. I mean, absolutely blown. We just forgot about little old Manuel, 5'11", 177 pounds. He said, I'm going to hide on you. And all of a sudden, there was Manuel looking big, a lot bigger than 5'11". Paul Thompson said, look at this. Slide protection, pretty good job. In the pockets, nice and firm for Thompson. And there is nobody within 10 yards of Manuel Johnson. He just sachets into the end zone, saying, I got the lead back for us, boys.
97-19.
That was way too easy, wasn't it?
That was pitch and catch galore there.
Hartley for the point after.
Kicks it.
And it is a 3-point lead. 7 seconds into the second. Manuel Johnson, sophomore from Gilbert, Texas, and the Oklahoma Sooners. So a long drive by the Sooners. They're looking for their 5th consecutive win, and they're back out in front at home. Out of the West Coast, 11:30 Eastern, Oklahoma and Baylor. The Sunflower Classic. Dave, we're going to be there. Kansas State and Kansas.
Yes,
Apple
sir.
Cup, Washington State, UCLA. It doesn't stop, does it?
We got sunflowers, apples. I mean, this is going to be a big weekend.
And
Thanksgiving's coming, you know.
Sunflowers, apples, and neither of us are all that healthy.
No, that's true.
That scoring drive, 9 for 82, taking a little more than 4 off the clock.
You eat the sunflower seeds, I'll eat the apple.
I live on it.
I know you do.
I have a deal with David and Sons. Shannon Woods really good at this time. Yes, it'll be Woods bringing it back. Their leading running back, and not much available. Averages 21 and try on the kick return. He's got it up to the 22 as we rejoin Jim Knox downstairs. Knoxy.
All right, thank you, Joe. You recognize this guy? The Boz in the house. Yes, Brian Bosworth back. First time in 6 years. What brings you back to Norman?
Well, I came in for a charity event last night for Children's Medical Research Foundation and had a great event last night, a big showing. I took the place of Patrick Dempsey, who unfortunately couldn't make it. So I tossed him out of the plane and I put a wig on. We had some fun at his expense. We had a great time.
Let me ask you this. Going against Texas Tech's offense, if you were doing that back in your olden days, would you like it?
Well, it would be frustrating for a linebacker because we like to get into the rhythm of things and start hitting people early. The offensive schemes they run now, they're spreading everybody out.
Woods made a miss.
It creates mistakes that can happen more frequently on the defensive side of the football, which is what the offensive scheme is designed to do. So for a linebacker, it'd be a lot more frustrating.
But if Fulani went over the middle, what would that do for you, Bob?
I'd still be licking my chops. Anybody coming over the middle gets a shot.
Don't get too close, Knoxy.
Yeah, I might back up there. Your nephew plays for UCLA.
Actually, I have 2 of them. They're twins, Kyle and Corey. Yeah, they're out there right now playing against Oregon State.
So you'll be back in California and doing some good coaching there, I'm sure. All right, Boz, good to see you. Thanks for the time. Joel?
The Boz in the house.
Man, he looks like he could play. He looks fit.
Safety.
Ball's gone.
Harrell again over the middle, taking the shot from Reggie Smith. It's complete and a big gain as the wide receiver for the Red Raiders took it in. Adrian Reese, and a tall guy at 6'6", 205.
What a target. And it looks like you're going to be the intended receiver right here. A little play action fake to freeze the linebacker, then go up over the top and get it up high because the guy's 6'6". Graham Harrell says, if I get it upstairs, I know that when the door is being knocked upon, Adrian Reese is going to be able to open it and answer, and he did.
It's good for 28 yards to the first down, so 2 big plays. 18 yards on the pickup by Shannon Woods, 28 yards on the reception. Harrell, a little screen play for Shannon Woods. Good move, breaking tackles, yards after contact. Now can he get another block? He'll be chased down from behind, out of the secondary, coming up with Nick Harris, the nickelback.
Not only yards after contact, yards after catch. This guy, 143.5 all-purpose yards per game. Second in the conference, 9th in the nation. And this is his 63rd catch coming out of the backfield because he is something else. Get the ball in his hands, and he's going to make people miss. It's like a pitch out. It's like a lateral. It's like the running game. Your goal is to get Woods in space and see if he can make people miss. And he's got the dipsy-do going big time.
Doing it against a defense that is 14th in the nation in overall defense, 13th in the country pass defense, 15th in the nation in scoring defense. Harrell all day, the dump off. Woods almost made a miss again. Barely tripped up on the outside by Alonzo Dotson, but time to survey the field by quarterback Graham Harrell.
Boy, the protection has been outstanding. This offensive line has given up 14 sacks for the season. They give up a sack every 36 pass attempts. And look at them passing off the stunters, and the spinners are being just wired at the line of scrimmage. And that has given the quarterback separation and vision to look down the field. And when you give a quarterback of Harrell's caliber that much time, you got trouble.
He's calling the play at the line, and he started that way anyway. It was a setup at the line. Woods trying to find a little crease, and he was belted. Really popped by the linebacker, making Darian Williams a free safety. Junior from Mesquite, Texas.
Here is the same thing that Oklahoma faced. In the red zone, 3rd and short. Oklahoma couldn't come up with the first down, settle for a field goal. What will Texas Tech do with that spread offense? They're not going to change. They're not going to put a tight end in there and pound the football. They're still going to spread the field with 4 wide receivers and operate out of the shotgun with a back on the hip.
They've hit a third down so far this year. Not a real high percentage. Harrell, 3rd and short, trying to maneuver, and he does. Good footwork to buy some time. And throws it low, gets away. He was trying to get it to Robert Johnson. Make it Fulani, right. Number 8, not number 9, going down low.
And Harrell does a good job of escaping pressure. He handles pressure very well. But the coverage is good. The field is compressed. It's in the red zone. They only rush 3 and drop 8 into coverage. There's no windows down the football field. And he's trying to make a little throw and a comeback pattern to the sideline, but he just throws it a little bit too short.
Yeah, but it was good for
Fulani. Yeah, it was a good idea.
10 of 14, a 32-yard attempt to tie it up for Alex Trelica. And did he get it? Yes, just inside the upright. He had to bend it from right to left. So we are tied at 10. Almost 4 minutes gone by in the second quarter. Joel Myers, along with Dave Lapp, you heard him in the background. Jim Knox down on the sideline. And a crowd of better than 85,000 at Memorial Stadium in Norman, Oklahoma. It'll be Johnson going back with Smith. And it is going to be Johnson. A yard into the end zone. It closed and the ball's free, and Texas Tech covers it.
Man.
Another mistake. It was a big hit. No doubt on Johnson. But he couldn't hang on. And Texas Tech, talk about short fields for this offense. They've got it about the 17-yard line.
You talk about a key being physical. Texas Tech, their tackling has been stellar. Collier on this special teams opportunity. Listen to this hit. Oh, man, are you kidding me? No, Collier came up with the football. Right. The ball was knocked out by Charbonnet. Charbonnet put another helmet right on the football. I mean, it's picture perfect. It is coaching real tackling. You know, you can run it forward and back. Here's the technique. Here's the finish. Big time hits.
They'll put it at the 18 where Harrell has the offense 1st and 10. Coming up with a field goal. Last time, Woods lets the pursuit slide by. Almost ran up the back of his offensive lineman. He's got 3 out at the 15. Thibodeau made the stop. Yeah, that was a career best for Shannon Woods. And the first rushing touchdown of the season, believe it or not, for the Red Raiders.
And he 125 yards on the day against Baylor. And he wasn't touched. I mean, you talk about excellent blocking up front. He scores in 2-hand touch. He scores in 1-hand touch because he wasn't touched.
It'll be 2nd and 7 from the 15. Can Oklahoma hold on to 3 or take it away? Harrell with time and almost intercepted. Almost picked off by Darian Williams. A free safety right. It did everything but pick it.
Yeah, he did. And at Fulani, they were trying to get the ball to Fulani in the middle of the field, and he's going to get a lot of attention. And Oklahoma doubles him. And you know what? Harrell just looked at him the whole time. Harrell's eyes took the defender, Darian Williams, right to the football. He locked in on Fulani and delivered it, and Williams had an easy break on the ball. You got to look him away a little bit.
Texas Tech just 1 of 4 so far tonight on 3rd downs. This is a 3rd and 7 from the OU 15.
Teams have had an easier time scoring, Joel, outside of the red zone. They settled for field goals in it.
Going for Fulani, he's got it. He just was led by the quarterback, almost like the quarterback was telling him where to go in front of Lindy Holmes.
You're exactly right. I mean, these quarterbacks at Texas Tech, they're so accurate. They throw to the proper shoulder or proper number. And just an outstanding throw. I mean, he had to get it over the outstretched fingers of Larry Burdine. Another zone blitz. You know, and Oklahoma's trying to mix it up. I mean, Brent Venables is 3-man rush, 4-man rush, zone blitzes. Trying to change it up and get Harrell out of rhythm. But he and Leach are in a nice rhythm right now.
It'll be 1st and goal at the 6. Again, good time and a wide open Fulani, and it's barely behind him. Boy, would he love to. Can I have that back, please?
Yeah, wide open is Fulani, and he threw it to the backside, and Fulani flexible enough, got his hips turned, but didn't squeeze the pig. Again, protection's pretty solid up front, and Fulani has to reroute himself, and that throws on Harrell, and he knows it. So that's not an easy thing to do as you're breaking to an open area in the end zone to slam on the brakes and go in reverse like that and turn your hips.
Now it's going to be 2nd and goal. Trying to take the lead with more points off a turnover. They already have their first score after taking the ball away from Gutierrez. Pocket. Boy, what protection. Underneath. Touchdown. Robert Johnson. He paid for it, but held on to the football. He came from one side of the field to the other.
And that takes time when you run those crossing routes. And I can't say enough how well Texas Tech's offensive linemen use their hands. I mean, they're just locking in. They get those hands inside, give the protection. There's the crossing pattern, takes time to unfold. And there's a tight window to throw the football before the explosion on the hit occurs. Graham Harrell lays it right in there. Robert Johnson takes the ball, secures it, and takes the hit.
Kicks leg.
Point after is good by Triolica. So 2 for 2. That combination of Robert Johnson and Graham Harrell, and a 7-point lead now. That's 14 to their 17. Direct result of Oklahoma turnovers. Downtown Los Angeles, 7th-ranked Trojans, as they bounced back last week. And boy, some talent on the field with those two get together.
There's no question. There's some offensive talent in the Pac-10 in general, and those two right there, leader of the pack. Fumble forced on the right, touchdown on the left. Johnson finalizes after the opportunity is created by Charbonnet.
This time it's going to be Reggie Smith bringing it back. He's got a lane, but he's tripped up just barely crossing the 15. Well, that prevented a big return, and he's out to the 20-yard line. That's where the Sooners have it, trailing once again. Don't forget Oklahoma, on average, Dave, for the year, give up 15 points a game. Tech has already got 17 on them. Our Dodge scoring drive that time, it's points off a turnover. Another drive skewed a little bit that time because it was a short field.
Yeah, they've done it both ways off the takeaways. They went 70 on one turnover and went 18 on the other. So they've gone long field and short field, but taking advantage of both of their takeaway opportunities for touchdowns.
Man, Oklahoma almost gave it away a third time, but held on to the football after the catch by Joe John Finley, the tight end, as Gutierrez weaves his way for 4 across the 23 out to the 24. So right now Oklahoma, they have barely turned it over their last 4 games. 5 turnovers, only 18 penalties. For the most part, Dave, that is mistake-free. Couldn't tell that today, though, but of course they're missing key components like Alan Patrick and Peterson. That's been well documented when Adrian left.
Well, I think you have to give credit to Texas Tech, too, because they have been putting their helmet right on the football. They really worked this week, obviously, in practice about forcing the fumbles, and they've been big with it.
Now Thompson, quick one, and on the outside, nifty moves after the catch by Manuel Johnson. He's got a first down. How shifty was that? Man, did it on his own all the way to the 43, trying to catch him.
I'm not sure that I could tag him in a phone booth if we were playing. I'd be it for the whole night. He can change direction in a heartbeat, and he's a violent cut guy. Man, he plants that foot, and he's gone the other way before you can recover. Something else. I marvel at those guys. I mean, try something like that. There'd be ACLs, MCLs, PCLs scattered all over the field. Cartilage, a little bit of everything.
Well, after that catch, Paul Thompson now 7 of 8 for 103 yards. Far cry from last week at A&M when he was 3 for 9 for 36 yards in their 1-point win. Time for Thompson, too tall, and Johnson almost laid out as the safety, Joe Garcia, their leading tackler, was trying to get to him, actually hit his own man a little bit.
Yeah, and he's hurting a little bit. You know, they were counting ribs, and I think they hit the floating rib. And at that point, Manuel Johnson's going to exit stage left. As Thompson's been high a few times. A couple of times his teammates have climbed the ladder, but Johnson can't get quite high enough. And he's the meat of the sandwich. You don't want to be the meat of the sandwich between a couple of big hitters, Williams and Garcia.
And Jared Hicks, wide receiver from Texas Tech, knows all about that, doesn't he, in that Texas game.
Right.
2nd and 10. Thompson calls his own number on the quarterback draw, and a good read up on the defensive front as they made the stop right at the point of the attack. Nitchman got to him, the senior from Corpus Christi, with a flag down out of the secondary, away from that side of the field.
Yeah, I wonder if they were thinking it was going to be a run and there was defensive holding, but a pass. But since it's a run, I wonder if you pick that flag up.
After the play,
after
foul number 18 on the offense. Unnecessary roughness.
Wow.
15-yard penalty. Down counts. It's 3rd down.
That's the big tight end, Jermaine Gresham. Lost his poise a little bit, and personal foul, 6'6", 250, the big freshman. And it all counts, and 15 yards after the play. And again, Joel talked about how Oklahoma had taken care of business in terms of no turnovers and not penalizing themselves. In the final home game here, and the emotion, enthusiasm, and energy goes with that final home game, they're making the mistakes. Texas Tech is matching their intensity, enthusiasm, and physical play here in the first half.
Well, 12 seniors, as you see, the number 12 on quarterback Paul Thompson. 12 seniors playing for the final time here at Gaylord Memorial Stadium for the Sooners. Thompson, the play fake, going deep. Malcolm Kelly intercepted, going the other way, picking it off. Chris Parker. Another turnover, and Parker brings it across the midfield stripe all the way out to the 45 of Oklahoma.
They're roughing the passer. It's going to be a null and void. Oklahoma's going to keep the ball. They got a roughing the passer penalty, I think, on Big Dawson, and no turnover. Turnover nullified, and you have a roughing the passer, and Dawson can't believe it.
Huge break for Oklahoma.
Boy, you're not kidding. Let's take a look at it right here. Let's see what Dawson does. Ball's out. Boy, that's ticky-tack. I mean, he hits him right after he releases the football. Malcolm Kelly really didn't give much of an effort to try to change roles there and become a defensive back and knock that ball away. He just kind of kept running and ran away from the play, allowed the interception to happen. Fortunately for Thompson and Malcolm Kelly and all of them, a questionable in my mind, unless he hit him in the head, questionable play on Dawson.
If he used the crown of his helmet, too. But it was almost simultaneous as the ball was leaving his hand when he popped him.
It was. I mean, it had to have been helmet to helmet or some kind of contact like that.
7:12 to play, so Oklahoma still has the drive alive. And they're going to bring Chris Brown onto the field once again. A first down to their own 44. Otherwise, they're in trouble. They're down by 7, and it's at the 45 for Texas Tech. Brown. Boy, he just bounced off of people. He would not be wrapped up early, and he got 6.5 yards out of the play.
Texas Tech is flying to the football. I mean, the Oklahoma coaches were impressed with this defensive football team, how 9 and 10 guys run to the football. And their philosophy defensively is bend but don't break. Keep everything in front of you and make the offense execute multiple play drives. And for the most part, they've been doing exactly that. And Oklahoma has got themselves a contest tonight. I mean, this Texas Tech football team's ready to play as well.
It's 50 yards on 12 carries for the Sooners. Not a bad average, but they've not been able to really dictate the tempo of their ground game like you normally see. Thompson, ton of time, and just low for Malcolm Kelly as he got behind double coverage.
Yes, he had, and Paul Thompson knows it. Paul Thompson a little bit disappointed that he didn't get the ball out there. Not enough air under the ball. And once again, changing the launch point. Boy, the ball went down to his kneecaps just a little bit. The ball just dies a little bit. And is it catchable? Yes. Is it a tough catch? I think Kelly's going to catch that football. I think Kelly will tell you, I better catch that football 95 times out of 100. I mean, that ball is at the knee level. You got to make a play on that thing.
Oklahoma in a third down for only the third time so far tonight. They're 1 of 2. And thrown way behind the tight end on that side of Fred Strong, rather the wide receiver. And almost picked off. That bad a throw, maybe the worst we've seen for Paul Thompson. It was closer to Huffman.
Well, circle this drive because there was an interception by Texas Tech, nullified by a late hit on the quarterback by Dawson. Texas Tech hangs in there. No points as a result of it because Malcolm Kelly doesn't make a catch on a ball at the knee level. So missed opportunities by Oklahoma. I mean, they get a second life with the penalty on Dawson, and they don't capitalize because Kelly doesn't make a catch. Discussion here. I don't know. What is it, time?
Well, Mike Knoll is in to punt it away. Oklahoma employs 2 place kickers. This is going to be the 10th punt for Mike Nall this year. 8 of his previous 9 have been down inside the 20. Michael Cone is their long guy, the junior from Houston. He had a 75-yarder for the Sooners. And Amendola is going to be back deep. John Bible, our official, trying to orchestrate things, and he's going to explain it over to the far side as well.
They're talking about it once again.
To the near side.
Have an injury to the officiating crew. The head linesman took a
There's an injury to the member of the officiating crew, and we'll have to replace him.
So there is an alternate that will come onto the field.
He's going to go get loose.
Now, how long a delay we have?
He's going to go get changed and get ready to take the field.
Looks like a middle linebacker taking over.
I'll tell you what, these guys in the stripes, they do put themselves at jeopardy out there. The speed of the game, the athletes that are running around making plays are more athletic than these gentlemen. Let's face it. There are better years of athletic ability to pass them by. They have to be smart. They have to know where to be. They have to know how to get out of the way. And sometimes you get caught up in it.
So they are going to continue to play. We will get a replacement, though. Here in the first half with 6:20 left.
Everybody has to take a little bit more responsibility to cover up the missing referee.
It'll be Nall with Amendola, with a junior from the Woodlands back deep. Now, can he get it out of bounds inside the 20? Avoid the return. Well, it's a short waddler down the middle. And it takes a Tech hop. It stops right there and backwards a couple of yards. So Texas Tech could have been worse. They get it back in good shape at their own 22, on top by 7. 2 old friends getting together as Texas Tech matches up with Oklahoma. Right now, Texas Tech trying to pull off the surprise on the road with 6:10 left in the half. And it was interesting talking to Bob Stoops about his association and his working relationship prior with Mike Leach.
I saw them moving the football on everybody and scoring points on everybody in the SEC, and I thought, this is something that will work here. If they can do it there's no reason we couldn't do it here. And so I called Hal and asked him about talking to Mike and how do you think, what he felt about that, and he thought it'd be a great opportunity for Mike. And the ironic thing is that I said to Mike, if you come here, things go right, we do what we think we can do, you'll have a head coaching job in a few years. I said a few years. I didn't know it'd be 1 year. So it was good.
Yeah, it worked out for both of them. 99 season, a good one for the Oklahoma Sooners offensive coordinator for Bob Stoops. His first, Mike Leach. The dump off for Shannon Woods goes across the 30 to the 31. At the time, he was referring to Hal Mumme, the head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats. Right. And Mike was an assistant coach for Hal. His wild offense there, and with good reason. He had some components. He had Tim Couch, don't forget, at Kentucky.
He was Hal Mumme's offensive coordinator at Kentucky, and he was at Valdosta State as well. And Bob Stoops was the defensive coordinator for Steve Spurrier at Florida and had the game plan against Hal Mumme and Mike Leach. And he said, it was brutal to game plan against. I want this guy.
But he wanted him more than a year.
Right.
So they have a great relationship. They enjoyed working here in the 99 season. Now Harrell, one of the few times we've seen heat on him, and Woods right at the marker. He didn't get the first down. That's a nice open field tackle by their leader in that department, Rufus Alexander.
Yeah, there was quick pressure by Corey Bennett that disrupted the play. He got quick pressure inside, and here he is right there making the quarterback Harrell move, and then that's just closing on the football and making a very, very sure open field tackle. Good play by down line and linebacker position on that snap.
Now it's rare when they're running for a first down. Is that going to be the case, or do they put it up? It's 3rd and less than a yard. They're throwing for it, and they won't get it. What a play on Walker by Darian Williams, a free safety. He lost a yard.
What a great read, because that's dangerous. And Mike Leach will store that one away because Darian Williams is a safety. And it's a nickel defense, but I mean, he is closing so quickly. Might be a little pump fake and get the ball down the field a little bit. Their version of a double move because Oklahoma was so aggressive at the line of scrimmage, but they rolled the dice on it because it was 3rd and short. They said, you know what, he's not going to get the ball. He's going to get it out in the perimeter and try to make somebody miss in space. Very sure tackle by Darian Williams.
Downwind, Alex Reyes, a senior from Allen, Texas. He's got a 45-yard average coming in. He'll punt to Reggie Smith.
Wow.
And he used the wind to his advantage.
Man.
Smith over the shoulder, grabs it at about the 15. So that's where Oklahoma's going to have it. Though Oklahoma has to feel good about what they just did defensively. Held them to 3 and out with a punt, and that's a rarity against Texas Tech.
That was a bomb. I mean, no return, directional kick, unbelievable hang time. Reyes was strong.
Downstairs we go. Jim Knox, what's the latest?
Okay, Joe, right here, David Alexander, the head linesman, heading to the locker room. He told me that he had stomach virus today, wasn't feeling well. They took his blood pressure on the bench, also checked his heart condition, checked his heart out. Everything seemed to be okay. He just said he had a stomach virus today. As he sees right here, he is heading to the locker room. They're going to check him out further, guys.
Trying to hydrate, drink a little water.
Thompson, tall for Kelly, who goes up to get it, but so vulnerable when you throw it like that. And that's what Manuel Johnson was trying to say when he went up on that other one where he took it the rib cage. So Malcolm Kelly at 6'4" brought it down, but he did pay a little bit after the gain of 6.
Nice yards on first down, though. And out of pocket again is Paul Thompson. They're doing a good job of changing the launch point, so Texas Tech is having a hard time zeroing in on where Thompson is going to be in the pocket, but he does have to release the ball a little bit more consistently on a lower trajectory.
Gutierrez on the delay, and he's short of the first down by a yard and a half. Well, only one time this year has Oklahoma trailed at the break, and it was a loss. It was on the road early in the season at Oregon. Is that going to be the case today? First down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Whether you order a big screen TV or a comfy leather chair, and all ships for only $2.95. Shop and save at Overstock.com.
Well, how about these numbers at the half this year? Leading at the half, Texas Tech is 6-1. They're 44-3 under Mike Leach when they lead at the half.
Thompson available on the edge. He's got a first down. He goes to Dane Zaslaw, his first catch of the game. One of his first snaps at 6'1", 240. The junior from Edmond, Oklahoma. After the play fake, and he was unaccounted for.
How about that number, though? Under Mike Leach, 44-3 when they lead at halftime. They have a 7-point lead right now. It'll be interesting to see if they can hold on to that lead. Nice little design of play by Oklahoma. The execution's there. Unassisted tackle by the field turf on that one. Zaslaw got as many yards as he could before getting out of bounds.
Well, all they are is 46-2 under Leach here at Norman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just 46-2.
Oklahoma State and TCU, their only losses.
Now Thompson out of the gun. Plenty of time in the half to get even. Manuel Johnson with the catch. He's got enough for the first down by the length of the football just across the 46. Jim Knox, let's head back downstairs.
All right, thank you, Joe. Don't forget, college football fans, you can email us. You got a question about tonight's game, send us an email, askknox@sbcglobal.net. That's askknox@sbcglobal.net. Look at this. The Pirates are out. The Leach Pirates right here, guys.
That's right.
I guess he's giving me his hat. There you go.
Well, yeah, but Knoxie's got Pittsburgh Pirate colors on right now, you know.
Hey, Knoxie, I hope you didn't get too close to that official. I don't want you getting that virus, man.
I think I have about 3 layers of clothes on today. No problem.
All right.
Minute 59 left of the half and a first down for the Sooners. As the Sooners also have 2 timeouts on the board, so plenty of time. They set it up with 2 to each side. Thompson out of the gun and Gutierrez in the backfield. They're trailing by 7. And an easy pick. Taking it the other way, Huffman. He may go the distance. Will they catch him? Jumping in front of Johnson. Touchdown, Texas Tech. Antonio Huffman. An easy read.
Yeah, what he did is he baited the quarterback. You know, he baited Paul Thompson. And he just lured him right into hanging it out there. And that's a tough throw from the left hash mark to the right sideline. And the ball's in the air for a long time. And, boy, the great break on the football by Antonio Huffman. Watch him right here. He's going to bait him. He's going to stay on, still giving cushion. Then I'm busting on him. Route recognition, break on the football. See you later. Nobody's going to catch him.
Drilica for the point after. And a stunned, sold-out crowd in Norman, Oklahoma now sees their Sooners go down by 14. There is a reason they game plan the way they do around here at Oklahoma. That is the first pick over the last 5 games for quarterback Paul Thompson. But they don't throw the ball a lot. They depend upon Patrick. Before that, Adrian Peterson. Those two missing, and it's showing so far.
Oklahoma, 3 touchdowns off turnovers by Texas Tech. One of them an unconventional score, a defensive score. And there's the gentleman that got it done right there, Antonio Huffman, taking his position at that left cornerback spot.
How much do you gamble if you're Bob Stoops with a minute and a quarter left in the half? You have 2 timeouts on the board. Same formation with 2 to each side. Underneath, wide, and well wide of Joaquin Iglesias.
10 of 16 now. He was 2 out of 3 before that toss. He'd thrown a touchdown pass, and of course the interception that was taken back for a touchdown. That ball is in the air. You have to have a very, very, very strong throwing arm to make that throw from left hash mark to right sideline. That's the throw that NFL scouts evaluate college quarterbacks. Can they play in the big league on Sundays or not?
It'll be 2nd and 10. Oklahoma has not had to play catch-up because their ground game has been so good during the 4-game winning streak. Thompson running for it, short yardage, only out to the 34 for a gain of 3. But this takes a strong arm, the pass you're talking about.
Yeah, it does, and you have to give credit to the cornerbacks to say, you know what, they're going to break on the football, and that one just stays up there and floats a little bit. And Huffman just makes a great read, and he becomes the primary receiver. I mean, he takes an angle in front of Manuel Johnson. Johnson has no opportunity to try to come back to the football. You know, can you blame Johnson for waiting for the football? Not because of the throw. Johnson had no opportunity to come back and try to make a play on the ball.
Kind of surprised Texas Tech took that long to call the timeout, the way that Mike Leach, and we've seen him, he is such a gambler. He wants to do whatever he can to get as many points as possible. They've been a first-half team anyway.
Yeah, they really
Good
have.
Percentage of their points this year, better than 200 of their 300-plus have been in the first half.
They have. They've stomped on people early, and take a look at what's looks like in the Big 12, Nebraska.
Huge win today by a point.
Yep.
Yeah, they basically wrapped it up. Missouri now, can Missouri bounce back as they're 7-3 overall, 3-3 in the North. K-State, Kansas. That's going to be interesting next Saturday on FSN.
And then Oklahoma, you know, with that one loss, but
that one loss though to the first place team in the South.
Sure, to Texas, and you know, you go back to the debacle out at Oregon. I mean, if that hadn't taken place, Oklahoma could be 8-1, another one-loss team, and they're only lost to the 5th-ranked team in the country, Texas. They could be right in the BCS hunt, but Mike Leach has other plans today.
It has been an incredibly competitive year this season in the Big 12. Oklahoma State, boy, Bobby Reed, they've racked up some offense, haven't they?
Yeah, they're
Cowboys have put it
explosive.
together, and there's a shock. Colorado, granted they're at home, but I thought it'd be a much closer game than that. And there's the one we were talking about, Nebraska. How big is that win on the road for the Huskers?
And Texas A&M losing by a point 2 weeks in a row. Last week lose to Oklahoma. This week lose to Nebraska by a point.
And both games, Dave, as you mentioned, they're at home.
Unbelievable.
So now 3rd and 8. Can Tech get the stop? Time, and the throw. Not close, and it is going to be, well, it's interesting because it's almost like in basketball. He didn't turn around, but he was guarding the man. They didn't see contact early. As Manuel Johnson was the intended target.
You know, while we have a second here as they're discussing this penalty, looking at Iowa State 0-7 in the Big 12.
Pass interference number 48 on the defense. That's a spot foul, first down.
That's Paul Williams
gets called. Dan McCarney has resigned his position at Iowa State. We'll take a look at the play here first and see what takes place with the interference. And right there, the grab. Watch the grab right here. Watch the grab take place. And as he tries to take it inside.
Now Thompson in trouble and on his way down. Keontae Dawson, the left end with a flag down in the play.
That might be a face mask.
Flags popping up with 32 seconds left.
You tackle him by the face mask, yes.
Number 96 on the defense.
You got Dawson
5 yards
again.
added to the end of the run. Repeat first down.
And I want to say that Dan McCarney has resigned his position at Iowa State, and I want to thank him for being the guy that he is. I mean, he was a tremendous person to work with, and he had a great influence on a lot of young men, molded boys into men. And I just hope he stays in the game because he's a special guy.
He was one of the best people we have ever dealt with in not only the conference, but in college football. As it's complete and Kelly breaks tackles, but I just want to echo your sentiments. Dan McCarney is going to be missed by everybody in the Big 12.
And I know nothing but the best to he and his family. And
Timeout, Oklahoma. Second timeout of the half.
He'll be able to do anything he wants to do. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, we were lucky to be around a quality person like Dan McCarney. That's what it boils down to. And everybody that came in contact with the program while he was at Iowa State.
Right.
17 seconds left. Oklahoma uses their second timeout. While Oklahoma's bowl eligible, as usual. Texas Tech, they've got 6 wins. Right now, a half away from their 7th. And bowl appearances 4th, the elite of the Big 12 since the conference formed in 1996.
And it includes bowl eligible teams this season. Kansas State bowl eligible this season, and Texas Tech, as you mentioned, and Oklahoma, Nebraska, Texas. I mean, Colorado's not bowl eligible this year, but they've been 7 times in the past.
Fiesta, Cotton, it's going to be against an SEC team. Fiesta, BCS, Holiday, Pac-10 matchup with the Big 12. If there is a Big 12 selection for the game, the Alamos Big 10 matchup, good one there. Down in San Antonio, it's a lot of fun every year for all of us in the Big 12 there.
The Holiday Bowl and Gator Bowl both have representatives at the game today, taking a look at these 2 football teams. So,
yeah, these 2 are going to be in good bowl games. There's no doubt about that, and they travel well.
There's the walking wounded, Adrian Peterson on the right, and Alan Patrick just took himself out of the picture. But will Adrian Peterson play in the bowl game? I mean, there's a school of thought that he shouldn't, and just get ready for the combine, and he's done a lot for the university and take care of himself and move on, but he's made noise that he wants to play in that bowl game.
Now can Oklahoma get some points before they go to the locker room? They've got enough time. And for Malcolm Kelly, he's there. Touchdown Sooners! Do you believe it? What a backbreaker for Texas Tech. All the momentum they had, they thought going into the locker room.
Right over the shoulder. Chris Parker in coverage. Tremendous throw by Paul Thompson. Put it right on the money to Malcolm Kelly. And Chris Parker at 5'11" could not hang with Malcolm Kelly at 6'4". That 5-inch differential was big, but tremendous throw by Thompson, getting him back in the hunt. Protection sound. Thompson says a double move, a little pump fake, and I've got the coverage I want, one-on-one on the sideline, and he just a perfect dart.
Yeah, the shock for the Red Raiders sideline. High snap brought down effectively as Hartley booms it through. Hayes McEachern did a good job, the sophomore from Austin, to get it down in a hurry. 69 yards. Didn't look like the drive was going to stay alive to begin with. And they get a score. Well, what a shootout. The second half is going to be incredible. Every week in college football, well, some rise, some fall, some take the next step onto the road to the BCS. The BCS Breakdown on FSN. Previews of every Saturday big matchup. It's detailed in depth analysis, the national championship picture. The BCS Breakdown Show, Friday, 6 o'clock only on FSN, and our KFC Famous Bowls BCS rankings.
Lose. They're going to drop down. Where will Rutgers be? I mean, will Rutgers pop up into that top 10 somewhere? West Virginia wins today. Notre Dame wins.
Was that a great story? Did you see on the Rutgers fan, 110-year-old Rutgers fan?
Yeah.
That was a sensational piece.
44,000 people watching a Rutgers game. There have been seasons where they haven't gotten 44,000 for the entire home schedule.
I don't know about you, but I've always lived for the Scarlet Knights.
I tell you, there's some history there. The first football game played, Rutgers, Princeton. College football, first matchup. And look where it is today.
Woods over to the far side, back deep, along with Eric Morris. And let's see if they just keep it on the ground. They will. Clock starts to run as soon as it touches the foot of the kicker. And it's down at about the 34. Now, you never know with Mike. And I'm talking about Mike Leach. They've got a snap. He's liable to go for something.
Yeah.
So let's see if he gambles, because all of a sudden, if it's picked, it can go the other way just as well.
And Bob, you see Bob Stoops saying, drop back.
Right.
Take it back deep as far as you can. Here's who he's talking to. He's talking to his secondary.
Well, you see the new rules. You've got to be ready to snap it as soon as they set it. And only 3 seconds left. They didn't get the snap off in time. So much for going downfield on the old tip drill. What a first half. 41 points combined. Do you believe it?
Fast break offense. Tell you, that was a huge touchdown, though, to cut a 2-touchdown deficit to 1 score right before the halftime. I mean, Oklahoma goes into the locker room with some nice momentum. There's no question.
It looked like they were going to be down by 14. Got the big catch from Kelly. Let's head downstairs. Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Joe. Coach, I know you're not pleased with that big pass towards the end of the first half, but you got to be pleased with the way your defense has been playing tonight. Capitalize on a couple turnovers.
Yeah, we did a good job getting turnovers. Need to have a great effort second half.
All right, thank you, Coach. Joe?
Straight to the point.
Yes.
We like Mike. 2 of the more blunt guys on the sideline tonight. Bob Stoops.
He's got his game face on.
Mike Leach. It's a 24-17 lead for the Red Raiders on the road. Now let's head back to Southern California. Join Michael Leach, Billy Ray Smith, DeMarco Farr, our College Football Saturday halftime report. Guys, on a pick. And besides the turnovers, though, we couldn't ask for bigger and wilder plays.
And both teams throwing the football. In Oklahoma, they're down a couple of running backs, so they're throwing a little bit more than they probably normally would. But here's Graham Harrell getting the ball to Robert Johnson over the linebackers in front of the safeties. That was Texas Tech's first touchdown of the game. And here's the last touchdown score. Double move by Malcolm Kelly over Chris Parker, and just an accurate throw by quarterback Paul Thompson right on the money. And basically, here's the story of the football game right there. 3 turnovers by Oklahoma. They're -2 on the day. 21 points off of those turnovers by Texas Tech. You cannot give short fields or unconventional scores like Oklahoma did. One of the touchdowns only had to go 18 yards. One of the interceptions was returned for a touchdown. Can't give away points like that, Joel.
Lincoln ready to kick it away. So the Sooners coming with some momentum after what they did at the end of the first half. Reggie Smith will take it. And, boy, talk about special teams work. We saw that young man force a fumble earlier in the game, and he does it again. Daniel Charbonnet, the big play on the coverage. Downstairs, Jim Knox, what's the latest?
All right, Joel and Dave, talking to Coach Bob Stoops at halftime. What do you think his message was to me? Huh? Take a guess.
Turnovers.
Turnovers, exactly right. Sick and tired of those turnovers in the first half. I tell you what, the Oklahoma Sooners, looking at this team, it looks like a very feisty team here in the second half. Should be interesting, should be a great game here in the second half, guys. It looks like they're out to play now.
Noxie, it's their last half of the season at home. They're going to be ready to play, I'm sure.
Senior quarterback Paul Thompson on the slip screen to the wide receiver Malcolm Kelly. Tried to stiff arm his way from Hopman. And he's out of bounds, short of the first down by a couple. Oklahoma wanted a flag. They won't get it. And the first half drives for Oklahoma, we talked about the turnovers. That really will stand out on first half possessions for the Sooners.
There's no question. And the last touchdown, this is monstrous because Oklahoma gets the ball to start the second half. They score right before the end. This one was big. Interception they took back for a touchdown. Fumble. Tech took that bad boy in for a touchdown. You can't turn the football over 3 times and a half like that and expect to have a lead.
Thompson's thrown for 190 yards as Gutierrez rumbles straight ahead. He's short of the first down, I believe. Little guy at 5'5", 5'6", he is going to be shot by a yard.
Here's the first half leaders. You mentioned Paul Thompson, pretty efficient half. This is the big key. I mean, you know, you're down two running backs. You're down a Heisman candidate, Alan Patrick not playing as well. Malcolm Kelly with a big half and could have had more. Had a couple of drops that factored into numbers in the first half for him.
So the opening 90 seconds of the second half. Chris Brown going to get the first down. What a belter shot he took from the side. He's not going to get the first down. Exceptional play defensively by Dawson.
Yeah, he shed the block and made a big hit. Nice effort.
Looking back at the outset on our Mitsubishi Keys.
Well, that's not too bad. That's not too bad a job on limiting yards after catch. That's exceptionally balanced. You know, I'll go okay there as well. This was a little bit of a problem. They left 4 points on the football field in the red zone, but both teams are doing most of their scoring outside of the red zone. But Oklahoma's staying to their game plan fairly decently. That's why they're still in the football game.
Michael Cohen, the junior from Houston, will punt from near his own 20. Danny Amendola out of Houston. Also the Woodlands waiting back at the 25. Downwind, a good one by Cohen. Amendola from the 24. trying to pick up a block. It never developed so, and down he goes. He's shut down right at the 23, and a drive chart now of the Red Raiders of Texas Tech.
Well, they had the one turnover here that it was costly, but they got into a nice roll. 3 straight possessions. They pound some points on the board, and it's pretty good offense. That doesn't include the unconventional score, the defensive touchdown, which was monumental in the first half. Basically, it's a difference in the football game.
54-yard return you're talking about. Antonio Upper with the score. Yep,
picking it off and taking it down the sideline, a little over half the football field for pay dirt.
Wide receivers set as they keep 2 in the backfield for one of the few times. Shannon Woods chopped down immediately again by Rufus Alexander, the weak side backer. He was all over the place, sideline to sideline in the first half. Now the keys at least coming into the game for Texas Tech.
Well, the first half performers, as you'd expect, throwing the football. Shannon Woods trying to establish some balance here. He had 4 catches as well as 5 rushes, and they're paying a lot of attention to Fulani. So Robert Johnson steps up. 2 of his 4 catches went for touchdowns. Pretty good production.
It'll be 2nd and long, 2nd and 9. Harrell out of the gun. 4 wide receivers setting up. He's got Woods flashing out of the backfield. Plenty of time again. Fulani, his main target in the first half, along with Robert Johnson's got the first down to the 41. Pocket protection, though. Boy, that was the real key as well.
First down success. Major. Big factor. Score first. Well, they didn't, but they did score the first touchdown. So I'm going to give that, that's okay. Physical. Are you kidding me? All those hits, the forced turnovers, the fumbles. Texas Tech has been extremely physical. That's why at this point in time, they get that 7-point advantage. They're really doing a job in their game plan.
Noah Huddle calling the play at the line continues for Graham Harrell. They set up a screen. It's underneath. Man, Amendola goes absolutely nowhere. Boy, consider that Graham Harrell is only a sophomore.
Right.
And Mike Leach is, first of all, they're going to go to a bowl game the 5th straight year with 5 different quarterbacks. That says a lot about Mike Leach and his staff. And now he's got a guy around that should shatter all kinds of records for 2 more years.
He was the high school player of the year in the state of Texas. And the last time they had a quarterback performing that wasn't a senior, and Graham Harrell, of course, this year, but Cliff Kingsbury in 2001 when he was a junior. From 2002 on, it was a senior, a 5th-year senior. Some of them walk-ons that have been around the program for a while.
Blitz is on. Harrell with time and almost intercepted. Lendy Holmes, a sophomore from Dallas, thought he'd come down with it. Boy, the pressure up the gut from Rufus Alexander forced the hand of Harrell.
There's no question, and he couldn't see. We talked about Harrell having unimpeded vision with some of his throws. This time his vision is not as unimpeded, and he overthrows the football. And that's one that Lendy Holmes would like to have because he's a former wide receiver. And he almost made an acrobatic catch on that interception. Got 2 hands on the ball. He probably feels when he gets 2 hands on it, he should secure it.
Big 3rd down coming up. And Sooners defense showing a 3-man rush.
All defensive ends.
So the dime package in there, 6 defensive backs. And they're going to bring an extra rusher, in fact, as it's fired over the far side, in and out of the hands. It looked like L.A. Reid was going to catch it.
Well, there was an all-out effort by Rufus Alexander, diving, cutting underneath the route and diving in front of the receiver. May have obscured some vision there. Because Graham Harrell throws a pretty good ball right here. And you got to catch that football. It made it in between as Rufus is diving, but he did distract the receiver enough. But that's just an all-out effort by Rufus Alexander, desperation effort. And as a result of that, it's incomplete when it shouldn't have been. Graham Harrell threw a Steve Reich.
Reyes into punt, so 1 first down, and then they stall. Reggie Smith waits. The wobbler into the win. On the run, Smith from the 28. Now can he get a block? Well, he's got a couple of blocks. Look out, barely tripped up. He lost it at the end. L.A. Reid got him at the 35. Otherwise, Dave, I got to believe he may go up the seam and go.
It really was. I thought he had a lot. Look at the spin, and then he goes back. Okay, it's a punt return to the left. I got to get back to my wall. And as he cuts inside, just trips him up. Outstanding effort, desperation tackle.
Brought to you in part by Best Buy. More than just HD, it's HD done right at Best Buy. by Dr. Pepper. 23 flavors that add up to one bold taste. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it. And by Overstock.com, your online source for savings on everything from video games to big screen TVs. Welcome back once again to Norman, Oklahoma. Joel Myers, along with Dave Lapp and Jim Knox. We got a great ball game going. Almost 5 minutes gone by in the second half. There's not a lot going on in the area, obviously.
That's a
From
Sooner
the
head.
38, I love it. They're loyal. And Iglesias. He's got a first down. Boy, he was wide open. Out to the 48-yard line of Texas Tech.
Kevin Wilson feeling best down to throw on his first down. A little play action fake and run the out, and the ball's delivered right on the money. Gets as many yards as possibly can after catch. Kevin Wilson right here doing a good job, as we saw the balance in his play calling between run and pass tonight without his number 1 and number 2 running back, Adrian Peterson, Alan Patrick in the mix.
On first down, Thompson with Iglesias again. Chris Parker did a good job.
Great
guy
job.
that's in his first season of starting, a junior from Dallas. And you take away, though, overall, you take away the pick by Huffman off Thompson. And Thompson's been efficient. He's 14 of 20 for 204 yards with a couple of scores. And let's face it, he is not known as a passer to begin with.
No, he made a bad decision throwing that football. There's no question about it. The thing that's impressed me tonight, both teams have tackled well. I mean, there hasn't been a whole lot of yards after contact, yards after catch. Open field tackling in space has been pretty darn good.
Joe John Finley, the tight end, kind of quiet for him so far. Do they look in his direction? Thompson in trouble and on his way down. No, his knee never went down. Talk about a good athlete. Boy, it looked like it was going to be a sack for Deke Bake, the senior from Sacramento. He is frustrated.
It reminds me of Randall Cunningham against the Giants when Banks took his legs out from under him and he balanced himself with his hand on the football. Watch Thompson just put that right hand down, the football down, his knees never touch, gets back up, and he's still alive and off to the races. That takes body control, that takes strength, that takes overall athletic ability. I mean, that's frustrating. How would you like to be a defensive coordinator and have to play defense so well like Lyle Sutton-Sich's group did, and then have a guy make a play because of his athletic ability?
Now they want to know.
Was the ball down? Is he down when the ball's down like that?
I think there's going to be a review.
Texas Tech is challenging the previous play.
That's incredible balance by Thompson, regardless of the outcome of the review.
The right hand and the left hand were down, and the football, that's what they want to take a look at. Did he use the football to right himself as well as his right hand? And I thought he did.
Yeah, football was down.
Right, and you can see he's got the
left. The right knee went down.
Oh, right knee touch. Let's see.
Right knee went down. I think they're going to win this challenge. Thompson's that fast. We didn't see it the first time.
That's the key. Because you can, as long as you maintain control, you can use the football, but if the knee hits, he's down.
Veteran official John Bible talking to the booth.
That's a good challenge by Texas Tech. That's a good catch by the coaching staff upstairs.
Try to read that guy's face. Any time of the game, first minute to the last minute.
Tremendous poker player. Watch the right knee of Thompson. Is it down?
Yes.
There it is. His knee, it just touches. Just touches. He springs it back up quickly. I mean, it was down for an instant. Now that's slow motion. So you can imagine trying to catch that at real speed. It's barely down in slow motion, but it is down. I think that's a good challenge.
A real good challenge by Texas Tech. It was a first down play that got close to 8. Or make it a second down play that got close to 8. So now it's going to be third and take it back. Third and I think it's going to be 10.
Remember that play that Randall Cunningham made against the Giants when Carl Banks took his legs out from under him, and he watched the right knee again. We're going to be tougher to see. Let's see. Oh, it is a good shot. Yeah. Oh boy, his lower leg, his whole lower right leg is down. Does the knee hit down as well? I believe it does.
Yes. That means they'll go the other way.
After review, the quarterback's knee was down at the 47-yard line. It'll be third down. Texas Tech is not charged with a timeout.
Yeah, it's a good job of the Big 12 crew to get it right.
No question. And they took a while to make sure they had the proper yard line. Where did the knee touch down? That's where the ball is dead at that point in time. So a good job not only reviewing the play and determining that it should be brought back, but brought back to the exact right spot.
And overall, Mike Leach's line on both sides, you saw that number. They've already exceeded sacks by a +7, and they still have a couple of games to play from last season. But don't forget, they've only given up 14 quarterback sacks.
Yeah.
And that's a team that throws it more than any team in the nation.
Well, they were giving up a sack for every 36-plus attempts. Number one in the nation by far. So they are doing a tremendous job of protecting the quarterback.
So now it's going to be 3rd and 9 after all is said and done.
And one of the reasons they're so successful is they take those huge splits and they widen the defensive ends out. So by the time they get to the quarterback, it takes a longer period of time than normal because they stretch the width of the pocket by their massive splits.
Well, the drives stay alive for Thompson and the Sooners. He trips on the wide side of the field. Now he's got problems with Dawson. He escapes it, and he's going to get the first down. Wow. Big gain down the middle of the field. You talk about the wide splits and pushing the ends out, they heard you.
Yeah, and that time, what acceleration by Thompson to split the defenders.
That time it was Oklahoma, of course, but they still pushed him out.
They did. They made the pocket very secure. The tackles are responsible for the width of the pocket, guards and centers for the depth of it. Thompson sees it breaking down. He sees a lane, and he splits 2 defenders, and he accelerates. He got to 0 to 60 before Texas Tech could. That's a pretty good athlete right there. Of course, they realized that. He went from quarterback to wide receiver, back to quarterback.
It's a gain of 19 for Thompson. So he's got 5 carries for 34 yards. Brown takes over in the backfield. From inside the 30 on the play fake. Underneath, it's complete. Taken in by Gresham, the true freshman from Ardmore, Oklahoma.
Good football player, 6'6", 250, and a youngster. And here he is, just going to run the out, the simple out pattern. He runs a good route, gets his head snapped back around to the quarterback, and secures the football. Throw on first down once again. You know, Thompson, that was a great example of what Paul Thompson's all about. As there was turmoil going all around him in the pocket, he kept cool, calm, and collected, tucked the ball, and ran for a first down. He's very poised out in the field.
Boy, are they deep at the tight end position with Eldridge and Gresham, both freshmen. Chris Brown bouncing outside on 2nd and short. He's got a first down inside the 15, close to the 13-yard line of the Sooners of Oklahoma. And for those of you just joining us now, Joel Myers, Dave Lapp, and Jim Knox, College Football Saturday presented by Kia Sierra on FSN continues with the Sooners trailing by 7 to the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. That was our score at the break, 24-17. And the storyline of the first half of mistakes by Oklahoma. Turning it over 3 times, twice on fumbles, and interception returned by Antonio Huffman, 54 yards for Texas Tech. So they've capitalized on every mistake Oklahoma's made. And coming up next, it'll be USC and Oregon, a great Pac-10 matchup right here. So inside the 14, Thompson comfortable in the pocket. Now he's in trouble. And still look like a negative. He's got a positive 4. Down to the 10.
That's right, making something out of nothing. He extends the play, keeps the play alive with his feet. A lot of times quarterbacks create passing opportunities with their feet. The pocket starts to collapse on him, and he's got his eyes down the field still, but now he's just trying to avoid contact and get as many yards as he possibly can. Oklahoma has been in the red zone once prior to this. They settled for a field goal. They left 4 points on the field in the red zone in their estimation. They cannot afford to do it again. Got to score a touchdown to tie this game up. Can't settle for 3. Got to get 7.
It's 2nd and 6. Finley, the motion man, Brown waiting for a lane. And he had to hop over a couple of blockers. That slowed him down. He gets to the 8. Do you think things change just a little bit when you're missing Adrian Peterson and also now Alan Patrick? Because Paul Thompson, he's the leading rusher for the Sooners today. This bit of the game has got 7 carries for 31 yards. You talk about a difference in game planning without those 2.
And Alan Patrick, he has been taking advantage of his opportunities. His graph has been going up every single game. Against Colorado, we had that game. Carried the ball over 30 times. Carried it over 30 times against Texas A&M. Tremendous endurance. Big-time workhorse. Runs very, very violently. He takes advantage of all his opportunities. Be nice to have in this situation in the red zone.
Bottom.
Finishes hard. Finishes every run hard.
Thompson waiting for Kelly. It never happened. And he dives down to the 6. Malcolm Kelly was tied up. He was bumped on the line. He was coming on looked like a little slant cross.
Okay, this is Bob Stoops at his best. Do you go for it on 4th and short here, or do you settle for the field goal? Looks like he's going to kick a field goal and get points. Be heads up for the fake, though.
Yeah, it's early. It's not late. Well, you remember the fake a couple of years ago. We did the game in Missouri.
Yep.
Threw it to the tight end.
Bob Stoops has scored 23 special teams touchdowns, and he scored 23 defensive touchdowns, 46 unconventional touchdowns during his tenure here at Oklahoma. I think, though, making this decision at this spot in the field, this isn't an area where you run a fake field goal. I think you're making a commitment to eat into this 7-point lead.
It'll be a 24-yard attempt for Hartley. He's 16 of 17. And make it 17 for 18, but has only missed a block earlier this year. So it is down to a 4-point deficit for the Sooners. 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third after the long drive by Oklahoma produces 3. This one is shaping up to be, well, it could be a classic down the stretch with 4:50 left in the third. Two old friends getting together. Mike Leach in his 7th year at Texas Tech. Bob Stoops, his 8th season at Oklahoma. And, of course, Mike Leach, first year that Bob Stoops was here, offensive coordinator for him for the Sooners. As it's going to be kicked away. Sooners just got 3 from Hartley. Blake Boblitz is going to be the place kicker. Back deep. They've got Morris over to the far side, Woods over to the near side, and the short one is going to be taken on the 7-yard line by Woods. Man, it didn't hold up at all. He got back and was fortunate to get back to the 20-yard line as we head back to the studio. Dr. Pepper game breakdown. Let's join Michael Eaves. Michael.
All right, Joel, thanks a lot. Number 5, Texas. Kansas State. Texas was up 14-7 until Josh Freeman found James Johnson, and he did the rest from 32 yards out. That tied the score at 14-all, but right now, Kansas State is threatening after a punt return, put him inside the 10. Joel, back to you.
Thank you, Michael. It's tough. The Big 12 beats up on each other way too much.
I'm telling you, we're watching. We saw it last week, Joel. We saw Josh Freeman grow up before our very eyes. This kid, they've done a great job. Ron Prince and his staff have done a great job of bringing that young quarterback along.
Graham Harrell put it on the ground, got it back out of sequence. What about it? Throws it away. That's a smart, smooth play. Finally, a sophomore quarterback from Ennis, Texas.
That's a coach's son right there. He's grown up around the game of football and understands every phase of it. And you look at this football game, Texas Tech has taken advantage of turnovers. Oklahoma has given them 21 points off of giveaways. And then Oklahoma has left 8 points on the field in the red zone. So you look at it, there's 29 points right there involved in this football game, swinging one way or the other.
4:11 left in the third in a 4-point ball game. I want to get back to that review we had where it was ruled that Paul Thompson was down. I want to clarify that situation just a moment after this snap. Shannon Woods weaving his way up the middle. He's got a first down. Big play for Tech. They haven't utilized the run all that much, coming off a career best for Woods last week. On only 10 carries, he had 125 yards, but boy, did they need it there.
They did need him, and he's an all-purpose guy. And here's what he does so well. Good vision. You know, he's watching all the traffic in front of him. Oklahoma was stunning. They were crisscrossing the defensive linemen. Texas Tech stayed with their blocks, sustained contact, and he sorted it all out. Great vision.
Well, you got to keep honest. You got to run it occasionally, and they did that time successfully. They washed down the pocket, and it's going to be a grab and a first down again. On the move, and what a run and catch. Morris, the return man that we've talked about earlier tonight. That's his first catch of the game. Eric Morris at 5'8", 178 pounds out of Shallow Water, Texas.
Well, watch the poise of Graham Harrell as he gets out of the pocket and throws this thing. This is on the run. Look at the accuracy. Boom. I mean, it is right there. It's like he walked up and just dropped it between the 1 and the 2. He changed the launch point by working his way out of pocket.
This drive started back at the Tech 20, and quickly they've got it inside the 41 of the Sooners. Woods again trying to make a miss, slowed down, and then pounced on by Larry Burdine. I wanted to get back to that play with Paul Thompson putting a knee down and coming back and making it a 3rd and 9. That was not a coach's challenge. It was actually the stoppage and play came for the booth. It was not Mike Leach. It was upstairs by the Big 12 crew, and they were on top of the situation.
Well, because Bible, the referee said that Texas Tech will not be charged with a timeout.
Right. A misinterpretation, so they still have a challenge left, Texas Tech.
That's a great catch by the replay officials, because if the coaches didn't catch it, like the incomplete pass in the first half, nobody caught. Texas Tech got away with a free one.
2nd and 9 over the middle underneath. Johnson, who's got a couple of touchdowns. squeezes it for an extra yard or two inside the 36, but still it's going to be 3rd and 5, brought down by Lewis Baker.
But that's a more makeable 3rd down situation. And just like any offense, Mike Leach does not want to be 3rd and 7 or more. And that pass, the route that he ran, was like a long lateral. It's like a running play. It's a controlled passing game, like a run game play. And now he finds himself in a 3rd and makeable situation instead of 3rd and 9.
You see the total yardage between the two teams. The reason Tech's on top by 4. The mistakes by Oklahoma that Tech has capitalized on. Harrell has all day. And here's the pick. No. In and out of the hands of Marcus Walker. He read it well, but it looked like the wide receiver may have gotten a piece of it, Joel Fulani. Yeah, that was the first time Harrell let one hang up and didn't read well.
Yeah, and he had a wide receiver open in the middle of the football field, but his eyes went to the right quadrant of the field, the sideline, and they stayed there. The only thing that he does from time to time is lock in on the receiver. His eyes will take you to the football, and Marcus Walker almost makes the play on this football, but he had Robert Johnson open down the middle of the field, and here's the Riverboat Gambler.
You got it. He's
Mike Leach.
Not going for the long field goal. Instead, 4th and 5 at the Oklahoma 36 with 2 to each side. Pocket holds up, dump off. Woods. Can he get there? He's got the first down. He took a pop, and boy, did he pay the price, but he got his mates. A first down by about a yard.
I'll tell you, this is courage. Because Woods knew he was going to get detonated, and all he did was accelerate into a wall. He knew where he had to get. He knew he had to get inside the 30-yard line. And here's what it's like. Oh, my goodness. He knew that Zach Latimer was closing on him, was going to deliver a pop, but he knew he had to get to that spot. So he sacrificed his body for moving the chains. That's courage.
First 4th down try by either side tonight, and it comes late in the 3rd. 4-man rush. Harrell still buying time, and Woods can't hang on to the dump-off, although Lindy Holmes was right there, and doesn't look like it was going to go for much anyway. Minute 25 to play in a very entertaining start to the second half. First down marker, all brought to you by Overstock.com with live customer service and an online best price guarantee. Shopping online has never been easier at Overstock.com. Well, everything we expected, except the mistakes by Oklahoma. We thought it'd be a real close game going in, Dave.
Yeah, but the self-destruction is a little bit surprising. Oklahoma hasn't been doing that for quite a while.
Now Harrell working out of the gun is going to get under his center. Little quick out, and the slip screen rather. Morris slowed down and tripped up. Reggie Smith, the safety, got over there. He's down at the 25-yard line. So they're already in field goal range, where they need to be for Trelika to put them back up by 7. Can they get 7 out of it, though?
And see that play right there in Mike Leach's offense, like a toss sweep. I mean, instead of pitching the football in the running game, he's got his quarterback throwing the short pass to the flat with blockers out in front of him. You know, his little receiver screen to the sideline is like a toss sweep in a power running game. And now he's got himself still on scales. He's got 3rd and makeable going here.
It's 3rd and a half dozen. Keeps 2 in the backfield. We haven't seen that much. And underneath, is it picked? No. It went through the hands of the linebacker Alexander. Almost got to L.A. Reid.
Yeah, he almost made a great play on it. Almost made a diving catch. And now deciding to go for the field goal is Mike Leach. Now he's in field goal range that he feels more comfortable with. And he feels like, okay, we've answered. If we can put a field goal on the board, this quarter will end, hopefully, with 38 seconds to go, with us still having a touchdown advantage.
All right, Trelika's got a 32-yarder so far tonight. He's 11 of 15 on the season. Very makeable. The 42-yard attempt for a 7-point lead, and the right side of the line lifted up. So he swings for
the snap, all start, 67 offense.
Yeah.
5 yards, 4th down.
Well, his long of the season is 49 yards. That's his long of the year. And watching the right side here, you'll see.
Please reset the game clock
raising up.
37 seconds.
There it is, the flinch, and there's another flinch. Actually, there were a bunch of guys raising up before the snap of the football. Everybody was getting antsy there. You got it with peripheral vision. You look inside peripherally. When the ball moves, you move.
The last one was good from 47. He hit it. It was a 42-yard attempt. Now, same leg strength. This for a 7-point lead. And did he push it? Yes, he did. So the 5 yards and the time to think about it made a difference.
So the Oklahoma defense bent but didn't break, Joel.
32 seconds to play in the third, and the Sooners have it back. So that home winning streak at the Coliseum in downtown LA, it is still alive at 30 consecutive, the second longest in the nation. From the 30, Oklahoma giving it off to Chris Brown, and he's got it for 3 out to the 33. Well, just a different edge to Oklahoma without Alan Patrick and Adrian Peterson.
And I think Alan Patrick will be back next week against Baylor, but that's next week. They want to get this done against Texas Tech. And remember, at the half, when Texas Tech has had a lead under Mike Leach, they're 44-3. Will they be able to finish this football game?
We'll find out over the next 15 minutes of regulation. They're on top by 4. That is the end of the third. Stay with us in Norman, Oklahoma. The Red Raiders 24-20 over the 17th ranked Sooners. You're watching Big 12 football presented by Kia Zera on FSN.
This is rare. Haven't seen a whole lot of missed tackles today like we're going to see on the perimeter out in space. Ball is out. Watch Huffman. Whoops, slip. And yards after catch because Huffman lost his footing. Little field turf assistance there.
Third 100-yard receiving game of the year for Malcolm Kelly. Their leader overall in receptions this season. Man, that was his 8th for 114. On first down. Bouncing outside, Chris Brown. He battles his way for about 4. You know, time for our David Buster's game summary. And right now, Oklahoma is starting to pick it up offensively, but they can't get into the end zone.
Self-destruction hurt. 21 points, 3 touchdowns off of giveaways by Oklahoma. But Thompson, very efficient, throwing the ball well. This interception, though, was taken back for a touchdown by Huffman. And Graham Harrell, his interception was not as painful. And he's matching the effort pretty much at Thompson with 2 touchdown passes and extremely efficient. 21 of 24. 7 of 8, folks.
Now Thompson on 2nd and 7. Underneath, it's complete to Manuel Johnson. The sophomore from Gilbert, Texas, spins to a first down to the 35. You know, it's rare when you can shut out Texas Tech, and that's what Oklahoma did in the third 15 minutes of play. But at the same time, we were talking about it earlier, most of the scoring for Texas Tech this year has been in the first 30 minutes of play. They've not been a great second half team.
Yeah, that's true. They've jumped on people early, and then adjustments are made. And that's football is about adjustments and adjustments to adjustments. And that's where coaching becomes huge.
208 Tech's 324 points this year have come in the first half. Now it's going to be 1st and 10 at the Tech 35. Thompson with the blitz coming, can't get away. Chris Brown didn't give him much help. He tried to chip, go low, and he didn't take the legs out from under the rush man. So it was Nitschmann on one side and then the blitz man on the opposite side.
Well, you're right. And Chris Brown, that's a mismatch, but you have to perform better technique than that. Like you described, Joel, he just kind of gave himself up, went to the ground, and never really, he wasn't willing enough.
Yeah, he missed him completely.
Didn't stick his pads up in there.
So it's a sack and a loss back to the 44. A big loss of 9. 2nd and 19 knocks him out of field goal range. Pressure again, and Thompson, there was contact, and it's going to help out because Joaquin Iglesias was all tangled up and couldn't get away.
It looked like through the back. You know, you can't go through the receiver to make a play on the football. Session is beside himself with the call.
Interference, 42 on the defense. It's a spot foul, automatic first down.
How big was that on 2nd and 19 on a 5-yard pass?
Monster. You get the quarterback sack and you get Oklahoma off schedule. And let's take a look at what Session does here. He drops back into his zone, closes, and makes contact. And yeah, that's definitely interference or holding, whatever you want to call it. I mean, he collided with the receiver before he had an opportunity to complete his route and challenge for the football.
So he never really looked back, located it, just playing the man, and got the contact early.
Boy, Kelly has been productive, to say the least.
Chris Brown with the lane. He explodes that time. Inside the 30, down to the 20. Huffman, the last man, gets a block. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's Manuel Johnson helped him downfield.
Boy, you got that right, Joel. One of the littlest men on the field, Manuel Johnson, 5'11", 177, made the biggest block of his pro or college football career. And how about Chris Brown with some balance, bounce, and speed? He said that when he gets a lane, he can take it to the house. He can turn a 7-yard run into a 70-yard touchdown, and he showed that kind of speed. He pulled away, and for the first time, pretty much for the evening, Texas Tech was sloppy with their tackler.
Now Hartley, huge extra point try. He has not missed yet this year to make it a 3-point lead. He's got it. So now the Sooners back on top. We'll find out how the Red Raiders respond after the 40-yard touchdown run by true freshman Chris Brown. Sooners lead it 27-24.
Great job right there. Now Brown takes it up the field. Missed tackle right there. Garcia, missed tackle coming off the block right there by Parker. Great block down the football field by Manuel Johnson. And a great job of Antonio Huffman trying to sell a clip that wasn't a clip. You can't turn your back to the offensive player that late and expect to get a clip.
That scoring drive didn't take long to cover 70 yards. Got to help with a penalty. And it's taken by Morris. And looking like Mercury, he's shut down, crossing the 25, put down near the 28-yard line as we head back to Southern California. Time for a Dr. Pepper game break, and let's check in once again with Michael Williams. Michael.
14 Boise State trying to stay among the ranks of the unbeatens, taking on San Jose State. 4 seconds to go. Anthony Montgomery from 37 yards out keeps the Broncos undefeated. 23-20 was the final. 4 teams remain undefeated right now, but that may change next weekend. Joel, back to you.
So Boise State, and as you mentioned, Michael, they were down 20-12 midway through the fourth quarter. What a battle. Now middle screen, and Shannon Woods taken right out of the play. Carl Pendleton was all over it. Let's check in with Jim Knox. Knoxy.
All right, Joel, time to answer an email. This coming from Cody out of Dallas, Texas. Wants to know whatever happened to Jamel Holloway, the fine quarterback at Oklahoma that led him to a 1985 national championship. Well, here he is, Cody. Jamel, what have you been up to?
Nothing much. I work in McAllister at a home health club and giving back to the kids. I got all the kids with me today at the game.
Good seeing you. And a big trivia question. What would that be? You told me a little while ago about you replacing who?
Lendy Holmes lays out Graham Harrell from the blind side. We just hope Graham's okay.
I'll tell you what, dial it up, Brent Venables. Excellent call. Defensive coordinator for Oklahoma. That's a great job by Graham Harrell holding on to the football. Brent Venables right here dials it up and says, come pay me off, Lendy Holmes. He's going to come from the backside. He's on a screen right now. Here he comes. Boom! Graham Harrell holding on to that football. Ball security is big time. That ball a lot of times is dislodged in return for a touchdown.
Momentum certainly swinging this game to the outset of the fourth. 3rd and 19. Pocket holds up for Harrell. Time, and his receiver fell down, and it caught him in the cage. Joel Fulani get almost stuck in the grill.
Yeah, what a great throw by Harrell. I mean, on the money. But the field plays defensive back, trying to get in and out of his cut. Crosses his feet up. Fulani hits the turf. The ball falls harmlessly to the turf.
That's kind of embarrassing, isn't it?
And Mike Leach can't believe it. It's like, you make a good call, and it's executed well by the quarterback, but then the wide receiver's going to stay on his feet.
Throw is right there. Reggie Smith waits back at the 40. It's a 3-point lead for Oklahoma. 3.5 minutes into the fourth. Both teams with all 3 timeouts remaining. And another great punt by Alex Reyes. Yeah, talk about special teams coverage. That's exceptional downfield by L.A. Reid with 11:23 to play. Long field thanks to the punt coverage. The Red Raiders. All Big 12. Carl Pendleton.
He's got an $18,000 postgraduate scholarship. He's not going to play football anymore. He's going to quit after his redshirt junior year, and he's going to help raise his adopted 10-year-old brother.
Johnson put it on the ground, and it looks like, did Malcolm Kelly get it? No. Texas Tech has it back, I believe.
Johnson, number 1.
Unbelievable.
Did they? Yeah, they got it. Texas Tech takes over. It was picked up. It was the backer over there, or make it Joe Garcia, the strong safety, who pounced on it.
And they're trying to run the receiver screen. He's got the football and got to get it in the other hand. Put it in the left hand, and as a result, the contact is serious by Chris Parker. If you have it in the left hand, your body's protecting the football. He had it in the right hand, and Chris Parker knocked it out of there. Always put it in your outside arm and have your body between the defender and the football.
Unfortunately, we have a Sooner down over on the far side. We'll come right back, update you with 11:10 left in the fourth, and Texas Tech rolling once again with the football. All right, and Michael, I know it's the weather in Southern California this week. It's been like about 80, 85 every day, if not a little bit warmer. So they probably have a beautiful night downtown L.A. for that matchup at the Coliseum between the Trojans and the Ducks, two top 20 teams.
Pete Carroll looked like a rock star there, and the Oregon Ducks, quite honestly, should have another loss. They should have lost to Oklahoma. That was a travesty out there, but more importantly, how bad is this injury? Bob Stoops over there checking things out, and you can see all the Texas Tech players showing their concern as well.
It's unfortunate all the way around. It was a play,
right,
where the ball was put on the ground by Manuel Johnson. We have not determined who the player is. There are so many people around him, but we don't want to speculate. Well, Manuel put it down. Malcolm Kelly tried to get it, but he was beaten to the punch by Garcia.
And was Garcia in bounds? Was any part of his body out of bounds when he was recovering that football? If that's the case, it's Oklahoma's football. If he was totally in bounds and the ball stayed in bounds, there's Johnson taking the hit, and the hit is severe from Chris Parker. And now there's Kelly diving for the ball, and everybody's diving on the sideline. And is he in bounds? Is the ball in bounds? It looks like if the ball is still on the ground, that everything is in bounds. But it seems that it's Manuel Johnson that's the injured player, and 5'11", 177 pounds, took a serious blow, and hopefully he's not in real bad shape down there.
It looked like a helmet upper part of the chest, and that's what created the loose ball, the force of the shot.
And they're riding a John Deere cart onto the football field, which is never a good sign when you need assistance like this to get off the football field. It's never good.
So dead silence, and with good reason, as we all now pray, and just everything is our hopes for the young man over on the far side, that it is not serious. We saw it one other time this year.
Yeah.
In fact, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and God, we got news within a half hour that everything worked out well.
Linebacker from Kansas was temporarily stunned, and hopefully that's all that's going on here.
Let's get an update down on the sideline. Jim Knox. Knoxy.
All right, Joe, right now Manuel Johnson, of course, is on the ground, but he is huddled by a lot of trainers and also the Texas Tech players. Has not moved, has moved his feet, is blinking right now. So right now they're just trying to stabilize him. And as soon as we get something, we will pass it on to
So,
you.
Knoxy, you have seen movement.
There is movement, yes. The feet are movement.
Good.
But they always err on the side of caution here. And like Knoxy said, they're going to immobilize him and stabilize him and make sure that they don't move him prematurely too much, and make sure that he regains full movement of everything. And we talked about it with the size and speed of these players. The impacts these days are incredible, and unfortunately we see a little bit too much of this. And the nature of the game is, as soon as this is taken care of, you have to go right back out there and get after each other again like they have all night long, and just selective amnesia, forget about that and go out there and play.
Well, Dave, playing at a high level, the sense of brotherhood that all players have to begin with. As we saw Texas Tech huddling over on the sideline in a prayer.
Well, that was a direct hit to the head. Chris Parker was direct contact to Manuel Johnson's head and jarred that head. I think Manuel Johnson let go of the football because he lost.
He was
stunned.
Totally stunned.
Yep. He blacked out, and I'm not sure if he lost total consciousness, but it's like taking a punch from Joe Frazier or Muhammad Ali. I mean, even if you're not knocked out, you lose your senses there, and you lose. I'm sure he lost all feeling and lost control of the football, and hopefully he's not hurt severely. But it was you know, not an illegal hit. Chris Parker trying to make the tackle just came right up on the side of Manuel Johnson's head and snapped his head to his left. It just snapped it sideways. And that's exactly what happens when a fighter hits a fighter like that, and you snap the head, and when the head snaps back and things happen in the neck, all of a sudden all these nerves and messages aren't being conducted properly. You got problems.
His teammates tell the story.
As do the Texas Tech opponents. I mean, it's like you said, it's a big fraternity of brotherhood in Parker, who delivered the hit. I'm sure is, you're beside yourself when those kind of things happen. And what, clean hit, here comes Parker, and watch his head hit, boom, right there, and snaps his head to the left sideways, and he lost control of the football immediately. And as Manuel Johnson went out of bounds, he was in trouble.
Tough all the way around.
Yeah, I mean, you feel terribly, but it's a byproduct of the game. Unfortunate byproduct of the game, though.
I think right now we all need time for a group prayer. So our thoughts with Manuel Johnson. And as soon as we know something, we found out Jim Knox got word within less than a half hour. As the young man from Kansas you were talking about, who got feeling back within 30 minutes. And we didn't even know if that's the case, because Knoxy said he saw him moving his legs, his feet.
Right. He said he saw him moving the lower body, and he was blinking, and he's moving his legs right now.
Yeah, look at his hands up in the air.
He's moving his lower body.
And look at his hand up in the air right now.
Yeah, I think he was probably stunned pretty well, but it looks like he's going to be okay, which is great news. You get traumatized. That's what happens. You're just traumatized, and then it just takes a little time to recover.
So we will take a timeout as well. I think we all need it. 4 minutes gone by, and I thought we were going to go away. So evaluation now for Manuel Johnson. That's the toughest part, because now all of a sudden, a few seconds after he leaves the field, you're trying to put on your game face again.
Yeah, you got to get right after it. You watch, they will. I mean, it's just that's the way you're conditioned and trained. And Manuel Johnson has had a spectacular football game tonight. He's involved in some big plays. Tremendous block he made on the touchdown reception.
And he had a career best already in receiving yards at 87. It means nothing right now.
Right.
And, you say that's the way you're trained. And you're right. Kids are playing it, from Pop Warner on. They start very early. But these aren't pros. So it's, it's one thing when you're a professional and it's on Sunday and it's your business. But it's another thing on Saturdays. And, boy, it's tough.
Unfortunately, though, you have no choice.
I know. It's tough.
You just have to get right back into it. I mean, the game has to go on, and it's just it's a hard thing to deal with, but these guys are going to have to deal with it. And like I said, it's selective amnesia. You just have to move right on and forget that it happened, because it can happen to anybody out there.
So now the quick change off a turnover. Van Harrell and the Texas Tech offense is back out there. Harrell took a shot of his own from the blind side. Lendy Holmes. And now throws it at the feet of Amendola. The play out of sequence with Alexander in his face.
Yeah, Rubens Alexander got airborne and took away his first passing lane. Harrell did a good job of trying to come to option number 2. I do think, though, that it's easier to get back into the flow of the game, because I think they realized that Manuel Johnson was moving around, and, it's bad, but not as bad as it could be.
So now it's 2nd and 10. Ball at the 35, not far from field goal territory to tie it up with 10:47 to play. Show the blitz up the middle. And Harrell once again forced out, will throw it away. Oklahoma very close to going offside, especially Zach Latimer, the middle linebacker. He was maybe in that area of encroachment.
And I'll tell you what, a good job by Texas Tech's offensive line still sorting that out. And they were. Watch right here. Is his foot? Did he get his foot back in the neutral zone before the snap of the football? And nice blitz pickup. And Woods is trying. He's overmatched. He's trying.
So now 3rd and 10 after the turnover. Blitz off the edge. They do pick it up this time. Harrell with time, and Filani holds on. There's a flag down to the play in the secondary.
Now he's saying incomplete.
It is. It was dropped. He brought it down. I thought it was complete to the 15.
Well, let's see what the interference is. Is it defensive or is it offensive? Is there a push-off or was there illegal contact?
Holding number 41 on the defense. That's a 10-yard penalty, and it's an automatic first down.
That's on the free safety, Darian Williams.
Gives him another set of downs on 3rd and long. A big penalty. Darian Williams to the right side of the screen is doing the holding.
And the flag was thrown right. Yeah, the flag was thrown right when he started to make his break.
Right, that's when he grabbed it. He knew he was beating the inside on the move to the inside. He just reached out and grabbed him and tried to spin him around.
So now 1st down at the Oklahoma 25. Oklahoma now just trying to force him to a field goal try this deep. And what a jump and grab by Amendola. He almost mistimed it because it hung a little on him and the ball had to travel so far.
Well, that tests Graham Harrell's arm strength. He was in the right hash mark and threw it to the left sideline and got it there with some giddy up. This kid's got a throwing arm. He can make all the throws. Very tight spiral, and he's got some velocity on that football. And remember, this is a true sophomore. He's going to be he is a great football player, and he's going to get nothing but better. By the time he's a senior, it might be scary the numbers he puts up.
Amendola only 5'11", so he had to go up there to get it. Now Harrell trying to set up a screen and throws it low. Unfortunately for him, it's incomplete at the feet of Shannon Woods. That hasn't worked since early in the game, and they've tried it 2 or 3 more times.
And here's a big down. 2nd down and long. You know, we talked about one of the keys to the game for Texas Tech was staying out of 3rd and long. And 1st and 2nd down success is important. They want to be 3rd and 5 or less, particularly in the red zone when the field is compressed. The spread offense, it's not as big a playbook when you only have this little bit of a football field to stretch. You can stretch them horizontally. There's not a whole lot to stretch vertically, though, when you're this far inside the red zone.
2nd and 10 inside the 13. Pocket collapsing. Amendola coming back on it. And good coverage by Oklahoma. It's inside the 11. Nick Harris caught up with him, but there were a lot. They surrounded him.
And they were trying to get a little more than they did. You know, the same philosophy that Mike Leach has been staying with. Pick up something so you have 3rd and makeable. They only picked up a couple. So now they're looking at 3rd and long. Will the Oklahoma defense, biggest 3rd down of the game right here for both football teams, will Oklahoma's defense be able to rise up? Or will Texas Tech convert? Now they can get a 1st and goal inside the 3-yard line.
It'll be 3rd and 8. 2 to each side. Wood stays in the backfield. Blitz off the edge. They pick it up. Back of the end zone. Overshoots Amendola. And the pressure broke up the timing, but there is a flag inside the 5.
Wow. If this is another defensive holding, you have an automatic 1st down, and Texas Tech will be getting a free set. That's offensive. It's a push-off. Now I think Bob Stoops probably decline it and do the field goal attempt.
Pass interference, 86 on the offense. Penalty is declined, 4th down.
So the big wide receiver, L.A. Reid.
Little push-off, 6'2", 200-pounder. A little bbit frisky down there in the red zone.
Now Trulica, it should be a chip shot. You remember he hit the 42-yarder, but there was a penalty flag. Right side of the line moved. He missed the 47-yarder after. That was with 32 seconds left in the 3rd.
He has hit from 49 during the course of the season. So, as you described, Joel, this one well within his range.
For the tie. Got to hook it right to left just slightly from 28 yards away. And did he hook it? It was too high.
Well, he overcooked that one. Overswung the club. The club meaning his leg.
So they don't give up any points off the turnover.
Wow. That's a pretty good job by the defense right there of pulling their necks. Pretty good pressure up the middle. Made them overswing at the football.
Kickoff at about 50, 55 degrees right at sunset. And The Sooners get it back after the second consecutive miss by Alex Terliga, the usually very reliable place kicker. 9 minutes to play in the fourth. Now, what about the time-consuming drive?
When you miss inside the 20, you get the ball at the 20.
Thompson finding Iglesias. Roy, concentration with a man draped all over him. And a gain of 7 on first down for the sophomore from Killeen, Texas. Now the first down marker brought to you by Overstock.com, your online service for savings on everything from video games to big screen TVs. That's Overstock.com. As soon as we hear something on Manuel Johnson, you will know. We promise you that.
And Joel, it's amazing. Both of these offenses have been high-powered, but the red zone has been the twilight zone. They've really sputtered and stuttered in the red zone. Both have.
Chris Brown. No, yeah, you hold up the middle. It looked like the way it was waggled out. Maybe he buried it and didn't give it to him, but he did. Stratton, the middle linebacker, stayed at home. And they're short by about a half yard for the first down.
I'm impressed with the defensive tackles for Texas Tech. Hudler, Scott, Deep Blake, Bake. They've done a good job. They twist and stun inside. They're big guys, 300-pound guys. They're hard to move in there. They've done a pretty good job of jamming things up and not allowing Oklahoma to take advantage between the tackles. And of course, as we've already talked about, you know, they've got their Heisman Trophy candidate on the shelf as well as Alan Patrick. So they're down.
Thompson, quarterback sneak, quick count. He's there. He's got the first down across the 30 out to the 31-yard line, and keep it on the ground. Takes another 90 seconds off the clock.
Well, Oklahoma has self-destructed today, and look at that hit right on the football. 4 turnovers on the evening. A nice pop by Huffman. Knocked the ball out of Gutierrez's hand. There's another hit. Just an outstanding play. And here's the pick by Huffman for the touchdown. Here's the final big hit. Huffman on Manuel Johnson, which led to Manuel Johnson's injury that we will keep you posted on. But 4 turnovers, and Texas Tech took advantage of 3 of them for 21 points.
Brown spinning off a hit. That's a good gain of 5 yards on first down. You know, when you're trying to run out the clock, and that's exactly what they'd love to do now, and force Texas Tech, if they can keep the football, to use some of their timeouts, because right now Texas Tech, like Oklahoma, with all 3 of their second-half timeouts still on the board.
And I'm impressed with what I've seen out of Chris Brown. I mean, he showed some balance and power and speed on his touchdown run. He brings those shoulder pads and helmet with some authority to the line of scrimmage.
On second down, they're going to throw. And it's Malcolm Kelly coming back to help out his quarterback, working against Huffman. He's short of the first down, though, by close to 2.
Huffman's been solid tonight. He's missed some tackles, but he's made more plays than he's missed. And his interception for a touchdown was huge. Just a overall a pretty solid effort for him at the cornerback position tonight. He's been involved in a ton of plays.
And then Thompson on the other side. Don't forget he was 3 for 9 for 36 yards last week. Did he ever bounce back? He's now tied his career high in completions. He's 21 of 27 on the game. He's close to 260 yards, but they need a little more than 2 for the first down. Brown blocking, and Malcolm Kelly behind the defensive back Parker. He's got it. Garcia gets to him. And a breakdown. He split the 2. He got it down to the 37.
And the helmet came off. I mean, there was some fierce contact going on out there. And is that Sandy Riley whose helmet came flying off there? Or no, who? Joe Garcia maybe. Yeah, the safety. His helmet came on. He's checking his body out, make sure all the body parts are working properly. A little play action fake to hold the linebackers. And they were coming on the blitz anyway. Then over the top, and he got the football out there accurately and got it between safety and corner. And the hit is applied, but way too late. But he got it between Garcia and Chris Parker. Excellent throw by Thompson. Very accurate throw. Look at Malcolm Kelly. Double digits in the catches. 10 catches, 141 yards.
Third time. Touchdown. He's at a 100-yard receiving day. Leading receiver overall for Oklahoma. And
Oklahoma jumped. They motioned inside, and it looked like the right tackle flinched to him.
Timeout Oklahoma. First timeout of the half.
Well, they use their first. It stops it with 5:50 to play, but they do have a first down when we come back, and they're all the way down to the Red Raiders. 37, leading by 3. Try Elone. Elone, radically simple. And by Dr. Pepper, 23 flavors that add up to one bold taste. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
I love radically simple. That's good stuff for me. I can taste 21 of the 23 tastes on the Dr. Pepper. I'm trying to come up with the other two. 23 flavors. That's a sensation right there.
This is one of those sites. It's always fun to come to Norman, Oklahoma for us, isn't it?
Yes, it is. This is
tradition here. The way they're so passionate about their team.
Tremendous venue.
I thought the wave. I thought it was over.
It's never over.
It's still here. So now from the 37, 1st and 10 Sooners. Chris Brown, no blocking up front that time. Not enough to handle Texas Tech. It's a loss of a couple of yards as we come back to Norman. It'll be 2nd and long. First, though, a Dr. Pepper game break, and Michael leaves. Michael.
All right, Joel, thanks a lot. The second part of our doubleheader, number 7 USC versus number 20 Oregon. You know, no one in the Pac-10 has caught more touchdown passes than that man, Dwayne Jarrett. Will he add to his total tonight? Meanwhile, how about Texas and Kansas State? The Longhorns Wildcats tied at 21-all. Texas needs a win to claim the Big 12 South title. Joel, back to you.
All right, Michael, a lot of time left in that game, too, that Michael's talking about at K-State. So Texas, BCS opportunity.
Right, Kansas State's playing their best football at the most opportune time of the season.
With a true freshman quarterback.
Absolutely.
Josh Freeman. Now Brown. Hole closed in a hurry. Our good microphones, you can hear how they felt downstairs.
Yeah.
Deep bake over there on the play. Garcia came up as well. The clock continues to roll. Now if you hold them, you can't, as we look at our Expedia.com trivia, 3 sets of brothers, all Americans at Oklahoma. I think 2 are fairly easy.
Played against 2 of them. The third one is a little bit before even my time, if you can believe that.
I love it. So now it's going to be 3rd and long. Call it 3rd and almost 11. Do you put it up and stop the clock? I think you got to throw the football. Finley in motion. They will. Thompson with the pocket holding up. A bullet to Kelly. First down, Oklahoma. Boy, that's the biggest throw of the game for Thompson. A strike.
Yeah, he delivered that with some authority and showed tremendous confidence in Kelly. And he said, Malcolm, I'm taking you up. And you have the size advantage. You get airborne, and you get the football. You make the contested catch. You have the 6'4" body, and you hold on to that thing. And he just ran a great route because right over the safety's hands, in front of the cornerback, just a tremendous throw by Thompson. And a great catch on the other side of it by Kelly. Huge play.
And the safety's 6'1". It's not like the safety's a midget.
Right.
5'9", 5'10", and even smaller than that.
But Kelly at 6'4" had a nice vertical on that one.
Now Brown, got to stay in bounds. He will. Takes it down to the 22. Gain of about 3. 3.5 to play. Now, when does Mike Leach start thinking about timeouts?
Yeah, because you got to think Oklahoma will. Right now, the clock is their huge ally. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And it's just ticking away. It's going to be ticking under the 3-minute mark before this snap.
And they've got to milk the play clock. Play clock still has, and they should take their time. It's still at 16. So the Sooners reminding, and they've got Paul Thompson, a very experienced one, back there, at least in their program. Not necessarily at the quarterback spot. Nobody taking a snap. Yep. They pick it up, and what a grab. He's out of bounds. It's Dane Zaslaw. His second catch, the junior from Edmond, Oklahoma. And he's got a first down. He is out of bounds before they popped him. Where will they put it?
Paul Thompson, great throw. I mean, just right on the money. Tremendous effort. Linebacker can't quite get there. And Zaslaw says, I'm not going out of bounds. I'm going to deliver some contact. So be ready. And if Oklahoma punches this in the red zone, this red zone opportunity, and goes up 2 scores with 2 minutes and 45 seconds to go, that's uphill sledding for Texas Tech.
Well, the last time Oklahoma passed for 300 yards, it was Jason White against Nebraska, the 2003 season. He threw for 383. You know, they're spoiled. Heupel, right. Jason White,
Well, these are those type of numbers. I mean, 4 out of 5, 24 out of 30, 80%, 4 out of 5 for over 300 yards.
Challenging the previous play.
Well, Texas Tech wanted to see, and I was blocked on this sideline because we're on this side, and it's tight. A lot of people on that side of the rope.
See where he stepped out.
Right. And I thought he stepped out earlier, but the officials had a real good look, and they put him out right at about the 5.
And let's face it, every yard right now is monstrous. And let's see if Zaslaw does step out of bounds. He's okay there, okay there, okay there. I don't know, unless he was out of bounds outside the 10-yard line, he's all right.
And he may have been after he took it on the wheel.
Let's see here.
Right there.
No, I think he's okay. Yeah,
I do.
I think he's okay. I don't think this will be overturned.
See, I thought he was out before the 10, not inside the 10.
Right.
That's when he came back and angled in.
It was the second step that you were questioning. That second time he planted the right foot down, and it's tight. But they've done a good job tonight officiating this football game on the field and in the booth. They really have.
After review, the runner was inbounds. The play is confirmed as called on the field.
And that loses.
Texas Tech is charged with a timeout.
So now they're down to 2 with 2:45 to play. And they have to hold them to a field goal.
Right.
That's what it boils down to.
Yep, no doubt about it. Even as high-powered and as explosive as they are, Oklahoma, if they can get a 2-score lead, it's against Oklahoma's defense. That's tough duty for any offense to get accomplished.
And who would have believed, though, that Texas Tech would be shut out so far in the second half? That says a lot about the Oklahoma defensive unit, 15th in the nation in scoring defense.
Well, I think Bob Stoops, Bob Stoops said to his team at halftime, look, Texas Tech is playing well, but we're terrible. We're killing ourselves. I mean, 3 turnovers. We give a touchdown up on a defensive turnover, and then we allow them 14 more points on 2 others. We gave them 21 points. Let's take ourselves off the schedule in the second half.
Thompson throwing for the score. Back of the end zone, will overshoot Joe John Finley as tight end.
Just threw that one away.
That stops it with 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in regulation. We'd like to welcome those of you joining us from the southeastern part of the country. Joel Myers along with Dave Lattman, Jim Knox. We're in Norman, Oklahoma. 17th ranked Sooners trailed at the half 24-17. They have turned it around, especially on the defensive side of the football. They have shut out one of the highest scoring teams in the nation, the Red Raiders of Texas Tech, and now they're trying to finish off Texas Tech. It'll be 2nd and goal to the 5. Brown slices inside down to the 2. Nice block by Zaslaw.
Well, they came with the muscle package, 3 tight ends, and they're going to move a tight end, and here comes the fullback with the lead. They have 3 tight ends and a fullback in the package, but you know what? Texas Tech hung in there pretty well. Texas Tech has impressed me defensively this evening against the run.
Red Raiders stop the clock. They are down to their final timeout with 2:29 to play.
Same time as Steve Owens, and played against Leroy and Lucius, and never did play against Buddy and Kurt Burris. I think they were back in the 40s.
Shock.
But I was only a freshman at that time. They didn't allow us to play varsity.
So now the Sooners, you got to believe they're going to keep it on the ground. Well, they don't have to. 2:29 to play. It's not going to be that long a play to begin with. Why don't you roll Thompson anyway?
That's a good call. Give him a run-pass option. Roll him to the right. Give him a dual threat. Put a lot of pressure on the outside of the goal line short yardage defense here. Move the pocket with him a little bit.
They run Joe John Finley. One of the 3 tight ends. Give it to Brown. Hammering it ahead. Did he get there? No ruling yet from either linesman. And now it is. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
It's almost the reverse of last year. A delayed call when Torian Henderson scored at the very end of the football game. Same type of thing. Did he get in there? A late call. Massive touchdown run right there by Chris Brown. Watch the surge by the offensive line. Get off the ball and just get up in the hole and after people. That's a very, very physical run by a true freshman. He got up after Garcia there and got his pads. Low man wins. Get your pad level down. Reestablish the line of scrimmage backwards. Good surge by Oklahoma between the tackles on that play.
Extra point try coming up for Garrett Hartley. There was a challenge left for Mike Leach. it'd be used there, but I don't think you can find indisputable evidence as it's punched through by Hartley. And now a 10-point lead for Oklahoma. So is that the telling blow? We'll find out when we come back with 2:21 left.
Over 100 in every game so far this year, Joel. The only team in 1A football that's done it. It's in jeopardy right now.
Up man for Tech, bringing it back. It's Marlon Williams, the linebacker. Bad, good field position. About the 34-yard line. Time now for a Kia Cero wireless call of the game. Chris Brown with the lane. He explodes that time. Inside the 30, down to the 20. Hoffman, the last man, gets a block. Touchdown, Oklahoma, as Manuel Johnson helped him downfield. Yeah, this is it for Texas Tech in a 10-point deficit, 34-24, when they generate something. Harrell faking the underneath play. Goes downfield, complete to Robert Johnson, who had a couple of scores in the first half. It was almost like they faked that little screen underneath and then went downfield.
Got the ball just over the hands of Lindy Holmes, and Oklahoma rushed 3 and dropped 8 that time. And they've got all 3 defensive ends like they've had a good part of the game. 3 defensive ends rushing. IU is at the nose guard position, rushing the quarterback. Tremendous throw again by Harrell.
Minute 50 and counting left. Here comes the heat on Harrell. And overthrowing, he was forced. Fulani was the target. But again, the pressure threw everything out of sync.
And getting good pressure out of a minimum rush in terms of number of people getting after the quarterback. But once again, it's 3 rush guys. It's 3 defensive ends. And they can get the edge on you anywhere up and down the line of scrimmage. And once they get the edge, they can pressure the quarterback.
Well, we're talking about the balance that Texas Tech was looking for. Trying to get some rushing yards at 125 for Shannon Woods last week. Only 32 as a team tonight, though. Out it goes to Fulani. And you're still in bounds. It'll stop momentarily for the movement of the chains.
Right.
Minute 36 left. And you know what else is also in jeopardy for Oklahoma? The only team in Division 1A play this year with a 100-yard rusher every game, whether it was Peterson or Alan Patrick, goes back to last season with 15 consecutive. They do not have that, as well as Chris Brown did in the second half, 16 for 84. They are short in that category. Now Harrell flushed out of the pocket. Little dump off, and that time their man did get out of bounds, Robert Johnson. They were also looking for balance. Little did we know, and we talked about the passing game, because they only had 36 yards through the air last week, Dave. It's kind of funny the way things work. Not as many rushing yards this year by committee, or at least this evening here in Norman. So on the ground, Oklahoma does have 142. Not bad on 35 carries.
Well, sometimes you have to throw it to win the football game. Sometimes you run it to win the football game, and that's balance as well. You know, you have to do one or the other from time to time. They can do both.
They pick up the blitz and overthrow the intended target who paid Robert Johnson, popped by Reggie Smith anyway.
So my point is, last week they knew they could run the ball against Texas A&M. They pounded it down their throat. This week they knew they were going to be limited with their running game because of injuries at the running back position, so they throw the football. And that's the sign of a balanced football team, when you can do both to win football games. Different kinds of football games. Be physical on the road and knock people around. At home, throw the football all over the field against a team that works against that type of offense every day in practice. 2 nice wins for Bob Stoops.
3rd and 7 for Harrell. And wheeling his way outside. He'll go to the sideline and stop it. So here it comes down to a 4th down play. Now, if you try a field goal, because you need 2 scores anyway, it'll be about a 54, 55-yard attempt, right at 54.
And his longest of the year is 49. He's already missed 2.
He's downwind, though. The wind is at his back.
But wind was at his back when he duck hooked that one, the last one when he overcooked it.
And you didn't have to talk about a duck hook.
And Corey Bennett got some pressure up the middle. I think Mike Leach is not even considering it because Raleigh has not performed well for him. He hasn't really answered the bell. So I think he's thinking, I gotta get a touchdown here at some point.
So 4th and 8, the ball game for Texas Tech, trailing by 10. And they keep it alive. No, but there was a bump early. Now they're going to say it was deflected anyway. Robert Johnson, as Burdine got the tip. And it's going to go back on downs to the Sooners.
Once it's deflected, interference becomes a non-issue. You can make contact. There's Burdine dropping out in the zone blitz. And they've done a nice job all night long of trying to change things up. And Burdine gets in the throwing lane. And, once again, Good effort by Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator for Oklahoma, changing things up. You can never let a quarterback get in a rhythm by doing the same thing over and over again. Sometimes it's three-man rush, sometimes you blitzed, sometimes you played man, sometimes you played zone, sometimes you played man under. Brent Venables did it all and changed the looks up. And there's Brent right there celebrating on the sidelines. That's a pretty good effort by his defense in the second half. Once they get over the turnover issues, and Bob Stoops' team once again, Joel, handling adversity. Tonight's adversity, self-inflicted, turnover adversity, and they overcame it. And that's what this football team's been all about all year long, overcoming adversity. Losing players, overcoming that. It's just been a remarkable year for Oklahoma. They should be number 6 in the BCS right now. They should not have lost to Oregon. They should be a one-loss team in the hunt themselves for the type of season they've had.
Career night for Paul Thompson, our Subway player of the game. Career best 309 yards passing and real efficient. Take away that one pick, and it did go the distance the other way, but he was on all night.
He made one bad decision and made amends for it many times over. He had a very, very effective football game. I think it's good for Kevin Wilson, an offensive coordinator, to know that if he has to throw the football to win a game, he can get it done.
Bob Stoops matching up with an old friend in Mike Leach, and we had downstairs Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Joe. Coach, you got to be extremely pleased. Your team bounced back in a big way, overcame the turnovers that shut Tech offense out in the second half.
Played really good defense the second half, and yeah, we just got to take care of the football. It's amazing you're able to win when you've done that. Fortunately, we did, and played really good defense, and loved the drive at the end. Offense was really tough, too.
How about Paul Thompson, senior, over 300 yards? That's a record for him.
Great day. And, I love it. He throws the interception for the touchdown, comes right back the next series and takes us down the field, throws a big touchdown pass.
Coach, can you fill us in real quick on Manuel Johnson? Do you know his condition right now?
So far, everything's X-rays are negative. Everything's coming back to him, so everything to this point is checking out good. Great game, Paul.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations, Joe.
All right, and that's the best news of the night. To hear that from Bob Stoops,
No
that everything's checking out great for Manuel Johnson.
X-rays are good.
So a decisive second half, a 34-24 win for the Oklahoma Sooners, and they should enhance their position in the next.